This is Adelaide's FIVEaa.
Showers and 17 with the 6 o'clock news. I'm Kendall Brettig.
Trust FIVEaa Extra. Norwood, Puri Street, Marion, Halla Cove, Seaford and Victor Harbour. FIVEaAextra.com.
The first Australian citizens and Afghan visa holders have touched down in Perth. 90 people have been evacuated from Kabul, with more rescue missions to be carried out over the coming days. This man, who has 3 daughters, is pleading with Western countries to open their borders. There have been reports of increasing violence from Taliban soldiers. This man says his family is terrified and don't know what the future will hold.
They are searching houses and they are finding and they are punishing in somehow out of eyes of media, unfortunately to say. This is a very difficult situation, very tense situation.
The State Transition Committee will meet today on the agenda's border restrictions with parts of regional Queensland, while density limits, caps on gatherings and rules around mask wearing will also be reviewed. Business SA Chief Martin Hazy says vaccination rates will likely be key to restrictions lifting.
This virus is going to be with us for some time. I don't think anybody's under the illusion that this is going to be a quick fix. But if more South Australians are vaccinated, that means that more South Australians are protected from the impacts of the virus. It doesn't mean that South Australians won't get the virus.
A new report is suggesting vaccinations have prevented a whopping 24 million cases in England. More from Nine's Karianne Greenbank.
Public Health England has just released new data showing the country's vaccination program has, in its words, directly averted around 95,000 deaths and prevented almost 24 million COVID-19 infections. The vaccine surveillance report also found that almost all the adult population of England now have antibodies to COVID-19 from either vaccination or infection.
A study has found teenagers who use cannabis frequently are more likely to have a premature baby when they become parents later in life. 1 in 4 babies born to parents who'd used the drug daily between the ages of 15 and 17 were preterm. Murdoch Children's Research Institute Professor George Patton says it shows more about the potential long-term effects of cannabis use.
This really adds to the evidence that heavy cannabis use during the adolescent years, during the teen years, is risky. It's risky for mental health. We know it's risky for use of other drugs, including tobacco.
It's feared 4 species of threatened Australian frogs are already extinct. A new list has been released of the 26 most threatened frogs in our country. Scientists say there needs to be a concerted government effort to boost habitats and breeding populations in zoos. Now turning to FIVEaa Sport.
3 words make a big difference to our local dairy farmers. Fluorio Milk Company. In your supermarket now.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. Port Adelaide will be hoping to secure a top 2 spot when it takes on the Bulldogs tonight at Marvel Stadium. The Power have made 2 changes, with Trent McKenzie coming in along with Stephen Motlop. The Crows, meantime, have only announced a squad for their match against North Melbourne, which will be trimmed a little bit later today. That match coming on Sunday at Adelaide Oval. Still on football, and SA has made a bid to host the AFL Finals this year as Victoria continues to deal with the COVID outbreak. It includes a bid for the grand final. Premier Stephen Marshall telling Rowie they're doing all they can to secure the season decider at Adelaide Oval.
We're going to do everything we can.
Okay.
But as I said, our number one priority is the safety of South Australia. We've had good discussions, and I think if they have to move it, we're in a good position. But obviously the AFL's got to ultimately make that decision.
Let's go to tennis. Ash Barty's recorded a big win against Victoria Azarenka to storm into the quarterfinals of the Cincinnati Masters. She dropped only 2 games on her way into the final 8. And in some golf to finish, Australian Adam Scott has continued his solid form and is currently only 1 shot off the lead. That's late in the opening round of the Northern Trust Open in New Jersey. He's currently 4 under, just 1 shot behind joint leaders Harold Varner and Justin Thomas. Cameron Smith and Mark Leishman are only 3 shots off the lead, so a good start for the Aussies. And that's the FIVEaa Sport.
Now to the weather.
Head to Foodland, Drake's or IGA for Nutrimate, a new dog roll loaded with healthy nutrients.
Showers and 17 today, a shower or 2 tomorrow, 17. Showers continuing on Sunday up to 20, then a colder day Monday with showers 13. At the moment, 14. More news as it happens on FIVEaa.
Say hello confidence in the new Tiguan, now available at Solitaire Volkswagen. Visit solitairevolkswagen.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
We might just turn the volume down in the studio this morning because...
Turn the lights down too, Will.
The lights be dimmed, the music will come down because the music stopped late, I'm hearing, at the karaoke last night. We'll do a review very, very shortly on 5AA Breakfast. Coming up today on the program, though, we'll talk about Australia catching up with South Australia. The rest of the country's cottoned on to the fact it's a good idea to allow people under the age of 40 to get vaccinated. We'll chat about that. Phil Curry, Ryan Fitzgerald. We'll chat with Hamish Hartlett from the Port Adelaide Football Club. But David Penberthy, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling like absolutely like $1 million. Thank you, Will. Thank you for asking. Play up, turn up. It's a life philosophy. It's a rule to live by, and here I am. What a night, though. Thank you, Adelaide. Thank you, South Australia.
You've still got the security free drinks band on your wrist.
What about that?
I think that's always a sign that the night ended recently.
That was where the trouble began. But cracking night. Thank you so much to all the 5AA listeners who came along and made the night such a huge success, outlasting. We packed the place out in accordance with the liquor licensing rules, 87 capacity. We were teetering on the cusp for the entire evening. It was terrific. And I just want to know, Barry, did you get home, mate? One of our listeners, he came up to me at about, it was after midnight, he said, do you know if are there any hotels nearby here where you can doss down for the night?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Did you meet Barry?
I don't think I did.
Elderly chap. 82.
Barry was sitting in the front row.
Excellent bloke.
Yeah.
Excellent bloke.
Yeah, I did see Barry.
Barry
was going okay when I left.
Yeah, we were sitting there with those two lovely women, the sisters.
Yeah.
Did several sensational duets. But what a terrific night.
It was great.
Excellent.
It's always fun to meet listeners and a lot was here. Well, we got to hear a lot of them sing too, which was excellent.
Yeah. Maddie, if you're up and about, Maddie Lane and Tessa was there, and Vanessa, the school teacher, chatting to her. But for the people at Lasing who have had a shocking time of it the last 6 weeks, and look, we can't thank all the people who came, all the guests who came, like Kim Perling, the famous pianist, Tammy Franks, the Greens MP, Michael Sfera from the famous hospitality venue that's largely been shut, Neil Pike, the winemaker. But what about the Lord Mayor?
The Lord Mayor was in her element. That is, maybe it was Adelaide's best kept secret. It's no longer. The Lord Mayor is entertainer.
The Lord Mayor. Now, I don't want to sound biased. I think she should be in charge of everything. Sandy Verschoor.
Premier.
Sandy Verschoor. She's just excellent. She's so good.
As Blakey repeatedly took to telling me on the night, it's Verschoor.
Oh, yeah, he was getting quite worked up about that.
He told me on multiple occasions, Verschoor.
How good was Blakey too?
Blakey's great.
The funny thing about Blakey live is often Blakey turns up and he just goes into this sort of instant comic grump mode. It's like, what am I here? I suppose you've asked me along here because you think I'm just going to be naturally funny. But last night, my God, he was
well, you know what?
Supernaturally funny. It was hilarious.
I worked with Blakey dating back to the Keith Conlon and John Keneally breakfast show back in 2010 when he used to sit in on the breakfast show. I've been to functions with him ever since. I've never seen him do live takeoffs before. He did it last night. I've never seen that happen before.
10.
Yeah,
he did everyone at 5AA in the course of one conversation.
It was unbelievable. Anyway, it was a great night.
It was really good.
It was a great night, and it's for a good cause. And look, we repeat that call to you. If there's an opportunity for you to get a group of friends together and support a local business that you love, do it.
Yep.
Do it.
That's what it was about.
And then make sure you turn up the next day. You almost drifted off then.
Oh, mate. This is going to be a long 3 hours.
It's all right.
It reminds me of the day Sturt won the premiership after a bit of an extended drought.
2 hours and 50 minutes remaining. I bet you're the only member of the group that went to the karaoke last night, of our listeners that's awake right now.
Yeah, I was wondering that. I think a few of them might still be tangled under the eider down. But what about Tommy Wren? I left, Tom was still there. Tom's already read the sports news. Tom is a machine.
Yeah,
seriously.
He really is. 8223 is our number. You can text us, of course, on the Telstra Storm Out Barker text line on 0448 08 1395. We'll get into the news headlines and the serious stuff in just a moment.
There's no blueprints to your new custom-built Beechwood home. Well, not yet anyway. But together with Beechwood, it won't take long to turn your ideas into sketches, then drawings, and finally a home you can live a beautiful life in. That's the really exciting thing about building with Beechwood Homes. They'll build the home you want. So collect your thoughts, your ideas, your Pinterest boards, whatever, and let's talk. Because life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Shop now at Harvey Norman Clearance Centre Marion. Under one big roof, we have lounges, dining, outdoor, rugs, flooring, cooking, washers, fridges, televisions and much more. Run-out models, scratch and dent, refurbished stock and brand new lines in stock and ready to go. Harvey Norman Clearance Centre at Marion for furniture, bedding, flooring, rugs and electrical. Look for the red sign. Shop now at Harvey Norman Clearance Centre, 919 Marion Road, Marion.
Now, just 20 minutes up the freeway in Mount Barker lies the stunning heritage-listed Orendock House.
Absolutely beautiful spot with its amazing gardens, beautiful restored indoor spaces. It is the perfect venue for a conference, function or wedding.
Orendock House, what a place. Have lunch or dinner in the Oak and Iron restaurant. Their chef-designed seasonal menu, always packed with beautiful local produce, featuring aromatics from their own garden.
You can wander through the gardens before or after a movie, or you can get cosy in the cold weather by the feature gas fireplace with coffees and cakes made in-house by their pastry chef.
A whole day out awaits at Ockendorrick House, Adelaide Road, Mount Barker. Visit ockendorrick.com.au.
What starts with A and ends with E? Supplements for you and me. FIVEaa health supplements are now available at leading chemists and health food stores nationwide. Ask for FIVEaa at your favourite pharmacy.
Shh. Can you hear that? Hang on. Here it comes. The new Kia Niro has landed. Available as a hybrid, plug-in hybrid and full electric. It's Australia's broadest electric SUV range, and they're all available for immediate delivery. Technology moves fast. Meet 3 ways to catch up. The new Kia Niro electric SUV range. Check with your local Kia dealer for details.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
You can trust 9 News is live and local. Weeknights at 5, nightly at 6. 9 News.
Say hello confidence in the new Tiguan, now available at Solitaire Volkswagen. Visit solitairevolkswagen.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
13 minutes after 6. Let's get to the news headlines on this Friday morning. The first Mercy flight out of Afghanistan has touched down on Australian soil. 90 Australians and Afghan visa holders have arrived in Perth after being evacuated from Kabul. But other Australians desperately trying to get into Kabul's airport for planned evacuation flights say they were forced to flee after Taliban guards threw smoke bombs, fired into the air and attacked people outside the terminal gates. The Australian government alerted citizens, residents and people with Australian visas to meet at the airport. Prime Minister Scott Morrison spoke about the mission yesterday.
We are moving urgently, safely, because we're taking nothing for granted. The weather is closing in and that's going to present some challenges over the next few days, but equally the situation can always turn. And so we're moving as quickly as we possibly can.
The new Taliban looking more and more like the old Taliban by the hour. Who even entertained that as a concept that was a moniker that they deserved?
They couldn't maintain that facade for 24 hours.
No.
In fact, I don't even think it made it 12 hours.
No.
I think they were already up to it. And
about a dozen people have died at the airport now.
Yeah, at the airport. You'll hear at 7:05 from an Afghan who's tried to make it through this area what it's like. Speaks really good English. We'll play it at 7:05. It's quite extraordinary. The United States is ramping up its mission to rescue its citizens and Afghan nationals from Kabul. 2,000 people have boarded American escape flights in the past day. Major General Hank Taylor says troops are now working to get as many people out as possible as quickly as they can.
We're ready to increase throughput and have scheduled aircraft departures accordingly. We intend to maximize each plane's capacity. We're prioritizing people above all else.
The Premier here in South Australia says we are still in the running to host the AFL Grand Final, and the government is hoping ongoing discussions with the AFL for Adelaide to host the match should it be prevented being played at the MCG. Here's what the Premier said on Stephen Rowe's sports show last night.
The players love the Adelaide Oval. I think the viewers love the Adelaide Oval. It's an incredible place to play a game of footy. We haven't had an AFL Grand Final there in the past, and this is probably our best chance ever, probably the only chance we ever get to play an AFL Grand Final, and that's why we're in discussions with them.
He's right that it would be the only chance.
Yeah, but that's a pipe dream, isn't it?
Well, there's a chance that Western Australia might just say, nah, sorry, not happening. Because of their hard line about borders and so on.
It's a good test of their policy resilience, isn't it?
See, I'm wondering, though, like, page 3 of the Advertiser, here's a story. In fact, it's a story we should talk about later. And I always wonder with these things, why 10,000? Why not 10,500?
Yep.
Why not 9,500? The state's biggest Christmas carols concert will be restricted to 10,000 spectators under a ballot system still being finalised by the local council. Civic Park carols in Modbury traditionally attract more than 40,000 people every December, blah, blah, blah. However, Tea Tree Gully has been forced to reduce capacity due to COVID restrictions. Now, it's August 20 today. The carols are a week before Christmas.
Yep.
That is a steaming pile of crap.
Yep.
That story, and who in their right mind is saying, oh, well, we'll just cancel Christmas. So that happens. And what, we have the grand final now, but we can't hold carols.
That's ludicrous.
In 4 months' time.
What date are those carols? Does it say?
Well, they're Christmas, so I'm presuming they're like a week before Christmas.
If it's a week before Christmas, we should be at 80% at current rate. So projecting for us to beat 80%, we're cancelling carols.
Well,
there's a harbinger of doom, isn't it?
I'll say. If Will and I sound testier than usual, it's some complete half-wit sent us a text message at 1:23 a.m.
Yeah, work-related.
I know.
Not urgent.
Anyway.
Excellent.
We're just getting that off our chest.
Well, you're right.
Is there a Metro Friday on that? What's the most annoying thing a workmate's ever done to you? Because today, we win.
I gotta say.
We win.
I've never woken up in a worse mood. Now, SA's COVID restrictions will be reviewed by the State Transition Committee today. No major announcements are expected, but authorities will assess density limits, caps on gatherings and rules around mask wearing. Easing border restrictions with part of regional Queensland will also be on the agenda. But you know what? You've raised an important point. It is Meat Tray Friday.
Yeah, let's cheer ourselves up.
And look, this whole week, we could sit here and I could read out 50 news headlines, and guess what? They're all miserable. This week has sucked.
You know what's weird? We haven't even discussed this Meat Tray Friday topic. It's exactly what I wrote my Sunday column about.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Where's the good news?
We want you to tell us the good news this morning for the Meat Tray. Thanks to Sam and Karen at Windsor Meats in Melbourne. We've had our fill of bad news this week, and frankly, we've both got headaches, so we don't want to talk about it. They are legends of Meat Tray. They do their best quality produce, all from South Australia. You know the place, 61 Duthie Street, Melbourne.
Fantastic.
They are sensational. They've been around doing Meat Tray Friday since the very beginning.
Yeah, they're pioneers.
Yeah. So we're asking
Foundation MTFers.
OGs.
82230000
is the number. Tell us some good news.
Yeah, good news.
Good news. And look,
it could be about anything. You might have bought a new dog. You might have a puppy.
Yep.
Come on here and describe it.
You won $2 on a scratchy. I don't care.
That was one of my go-to sayings when I was editing the Daily Telegraph. If I'd sit there in news conference and they go, "Oh, well, we got some stories here. Yeah, drug-crazed youth gangs terrorise Western Sydney. Major chemo bungle at Nepean Hospital." One of the animals has been euthanized at Taronga Zoo. And I'd sit there and I'd go, listen, can you bludgers look out the window? See that big body of water over there? That's called Sydney Harbour.
Yeah.
We live in what is arguably the most beautiful city in the world. You read this news list, you think that this is the Mogadishu Daily News. And then I'd bang my hand on the table and I'd say, you know what I want from you? I want a photograph of a bowl of newborn golden retriever pups sitting in a bucket of geraniums.
Yes.
Like an Ann Getty style
beautiful.
picture.
It's uplifting.
Or a baby in a terracotta pot.
That's what you want to wake up
with
to.
With a gerber on its head. I don't care what the bloody story is. You know, I'm sick of the thousands die in Sydney, terror, whatever.
Yeah.
From anything.
Great.
Yeah.
Hey, Ange in Kidman Park's got some good news for us. Morning, Ange.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Yeah,
we're good, thanks, Ange.
The good news is, guys, South Australians listen to the health department. The rest of Australia doesn't give a damn.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
good
true.
on you, Ange. Thank
That
you.
is true.
Keep the good news coming in for the meat tray. 8223000.
We're not going to listen to them forever, though, just quietly.
right.
I'm getting to the point where it's like, they've done a great job. However, now I'd like to go and do some stuff.
Yeah, I think everyone is. And frankly, Stephen Marshall needs to get there at some point too. Not yet.
No.
Probably early next year.
Yeah.
Now
later this year.
That meat tray later this year.
Before the Modbury people want to have their councils.
You know what we're
Their
asking?
carols.
Just when they all agreed with this federal government that they would. That's all we're asking. The whole report. Anyway.
In his defence, he's the most in line of any premier.
He is, 100%. Oh, without a doubt.
So let's cut him some slack.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
And he's never texted us at 1:23 a.m. either.
See, this is the problem. Everything goes back to being negative because everyone's grumpy, and by everyone I mean us. 8223000 is the number. We need some good news. Thanks to Sam and Karen, Windsor Meats in Malvern. The good news is they're a great butcher, but you can give us good news too, and you can win a magnificent meat tray. The weather today, it's a top of 17. 5 mils of rain about the place. Weather's not winning the meat tray, let's put it that way. Saturday, 17. Sunday, 20. That's not bad, but 5 mils of rain. Then it gets cool to start next week. 13 Monday and rainy. Tuesday, 14. Wednesday, 15. Now, the man who was almost the MVP of the karaoke night,
Tommy Wren,
and certainly
he was MVP.
Certainly MVP of then staying the latest and getting up the earliest, will join us right after this. I don't know how in the hell that man got himself in.
Fresh from his searing rendition of Billy Joel's Piano Man. How good was that?
Yeah, he was remarkable. Anyway, he's going to come up with his regular bag of tricks talking sport in a moment.
Want to be part of a retirement community designed around your well-being? At the 4 Lend-Lease villages across South Australia, you'll feel connected and safe, so you can focus on being happy. Search Lend-Lease Retirement SA for a personal appointment.
More Australians die of heart disease than any other cause. It can tear families apart. And the heartache lasts a lifetime. Because when kids lose someone they love, they never stop missing them their whole lives. But you can help the Heart Foundation fund life-saving research and keep more families together. Donate to the Heart Foundation today.
Sold by McGain again.
And as you well know, it's really important to get along to these open inspections because you could miss out. You could.
You certainly could.
Yeah,
and look, they're on at very reasonable times. 11 to 11:30 a.m. Catch up with Sam Raven, who is opening 16 Anselm Street, Christie Downs. This 3-bedroom home on a 910 square metre corner block has massive development potential, subject to council consent. Best offers by September 7, unless sold prior. So don't delay. It's still a hot market out there.
And also tomorrow at the completely acceptable hour of 12:30 to 1 p.m, Mike Dobbin and Zoe Ball are opening 49 Young Street, Ranella. This well-presented 3-bedroom home features solid timber floorboards, an updated kitchen, split system heating and cooling, carport, plus a big shed, all on a 660 square metre block, $399 to $430K.
For all the info, take a look at these properties and all the McGain listings at realestate.com.au.
Baths. They come in dozens of styles, but it's not a proper bath unless it covers your toes, knees and chest. If you're planning your dream bathroom and what you want isn't on your selections list, ask for ABK Supplies, Adelaide Bathroom and Kitchen Supplies. As a local independent specialist, ABK Supplies has a large range of brands, not just the ones your builder is stuck with. Ask for ABK Supplies. Go to abksupplies.com.au or see the showroom at Lower North East Road opposite Dernicourt Village.
Only 5 minutes from the city, save now at City Mazda. CX-5 Max Sport Auto Front Wheel Drive, $38,990 drive away. CX-3 Neo Sport Auto Front Wheel Drive, $26,990 drive away. They're in stock today and ready to be in your driveway tomorrow. Also enjoy the Mazda Moment mid-year sale event across the entire range. City Mazda. Go and see Daniel, Chris and the entire team at 432 Port Road, Hindmarsh, or visit citymazda.com.au.
MVD 182170. 5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. Say hello confidence in the new Tiguan, now available at Solitaire Volkswagen. Visit solitairevolkswagen.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
25 minutes after 6. There were some highlights last night, but none higher than that provided by the sportsman extraordinaire, Mr. Tommy Wren. Piano Man.
He's superb.
He's the sportsman. He's Tommy Wren. Good morning to you, mate.
Oh, I wish I did it as well as Billy Joel did it, but it was it was a good.
You actually can sing.
It was a good fun night, wasn't it?
Mate, you've been hiding this away as a secret for years. You are a genuinely. Just to clarify, that was you then.
I think
that was actually Billy Joel.
Okay.
But it goes to your point.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that makes it somewhat different because I was going to say you sounded almost exactly like Billy Joel.
Well, I think the point is Billy Joel himself couldn't tell whether it was him or Tom Wren.
Well, exactly.
He's listening at home going, "Wow,
yeah,
he is good, that Rennie, isn't he?" He is
Bill.
good.
G'day, Bill. Go away. And then I think we got a bit of Neil Diamond out later in the night. Pembo kicked it off beautifully, though, didn't he?
Yeah,
and
he
I'll
did.
tell you what, you mentioned Barry earlier. I left after midnight, and Barry was still kicking.
He's probably still there.
He's probably still there right now.
What a venue, what a night.
He was unbelievable.
It was a spectacular amount of fun.
Well done, boys. You did a seriously sensational job. Great
Labour
stuff.
of love.
And Sandy Vershaw, have I got the surname right? She was outstanding.
Vershaw.
She was outstanding.
That was superb. And seriously,
brilliant.
what a great sport doing it. And, you know, clearly someone who loves the city. You wouldn't run for Lord Mayor if you didn't. But, yeah, terrific singer.
Really good night. Fellas, I just wanted to say that there's been, and we've touched on this previously, but it's in the headlines again. The grand final, is it going to be coming to Adelaide? You know, it seems like Stephen Marshall, the Premier's getting behind it. Whether or not it gets here, we'll wait and find out. Pembo, I reckon you're in my camp. Will, you're a bit more maybe circumspect, but the grand final, are we keen? And I wonder whether or not listeners are keen, given that, you know, if you're having grand final day, you know, are you only going to be able to have 10 or 20 people, you know, funerals, weddings, etc. Do you think people are behind the idea, or is it one of those
behind
ones?
it, except for when I turn to page 3 of the paper and read about the Modbury Carols being cancelled 4 months out.
I'm 100%
limited to
behind
10,000.
it, but my BS detector's going off a little bit.
Yeah,
because it
for
feels
sure.
like, in the absence of what appears at least to be a concerted bid, people would be asking questions, what the hell's the Premier doing?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if anyone truly believes we're a chance, given last weekend you've got, 70,000 at Optus Stadium able to go there and 15,000 here.
Yep.
So right now the playing field isn't level.
The other thing too, does it involve public money? Like, is the AFL saying, all right, who wants to host the grand final? In the same way
like a
that
bidding.
the NRL says who wants to host State of Origin. Because there's two ways of phrasing the question. Do you want Adelaide to host the grand final? Most people, well, a lot of people probably would go yes. I reckon a slender majority would go yes. Ask the other question, would you like to pay through your taxes so that Adelaide can give the AFL money to host the grand final? I reckon you're getting about 30%, maybe less, maybe 20%, maybe 10%. You know, so it's the other thing too. You probably have to have 2 polls: one for Crows fans, one for Port fans.
Yeah.
As a Crows fan, I couldn't give a damn where the grand final's out. I'm not going to be watching it.
That's an excellent.
I'm not watching any more football after this Sunday.
I think, look, as a Crows fan, I would say it'd be nice to have it here to prove that there is nothing hallowed about the MCG as it relates to grand finals. And you can have it in another state that is a die-hard football state at the most beautiful ground in Australia, and guess what? It'll feel pretty special. So from that perspective, I'd love to show that that's the case.
But isn't that in the sort of file that under the whoopee-doo files? Because contractually, it's never going to happen again.
Oh, yeah, but it just makes me feel better.
Yeah, and you're right. Isn't it ironic?
It's for my own edification.
You know, they've signed this 50-year
enough.
extension or whatever, and yet the 2 grand finals in a row we could get outside of Melbourne. It's
karma.
It's a bit of karma there.
More
isn't
importantly, Tom, what's your tip for getting through a late night, mate? How many hours sleep have you and I had? You left after I did.
I reckon we've had less than the designated or what they recommend 8 hours. We've had about 6 between us, I think.
I had just dozed off at 1 a.m. before some goose sent me a text message and woke me up. And I was so angry I lay there for about 15 minutes, then I went back to sleep. So I've had about 4. What's the strategy from here?
Well,
fried food?
A lot of fried food. Maybe some eggs, or is that a bad?
I almost think we need a wall as nearest to the pin. When do you blokes hit the wall? I think...
Mine could be 7:15.
No, I reckon 7:50. Yeah, actually, you started earlier, so you might be 7:15. The wall is coming fast and hard, I suspect. But until then, it's been a delight. Good on you, Rennie.
Thanks, boys. Great stuff. Have a great weekend.
The piano man himself, Billy Joel. You can't tell the difference. It's remarkable. Who loves South Australia as much as you do? FIVEaa Milk Company, South Australian, and proud of it.
This is Adelaide's FIVEaa.
Showers and 17 today with the 6:30 news. I'm Kendall Brettig.
Looking for the perfect winter exercise? Physio Extra offers clinical Pilates at 6 locations. PhysioExtra.com.
Violence is escalating in Afghanistan. There have been chaotic scenes across multiple cities with crowds shot at as residents defy the Taliban and celebrate Independence Day. Allied forces are currently undertaking rescue missions to evacuate their own citizens and visa holders. This man says his family is living in fear of what might happen.
They are promising to the people they are not touching and they are not going to the houses, but unfortunately they are taking their cars, the people's cars, their valuable items, and they are searching houses, and this kind of situation is happening here.
And the first Mercy flight out of Afghanistan has touched down on Australian soil, with 90 people arriving in Perth after being evacuated from Kabul. Prime Minister Scott Morrison has vowed to take in 3,000 Afghan nationals, but says that number will be bottom floor and will likely increase. SA's COVID restrictions will be assessed today when the State Transition Committee meets again. Restrictions on private gatherings, community sport crowds and mask wearing will be looked at. Authorities will also review border restrictions with parts of regional Queensland. The Wiggles have helped save the life of a Melbourne COVID-19 patient. 22-year-old Sarah Kelly has Down syndrome and wouldn't let intensive care nurses place oxygen tubes in her nose. Knowing she loved the Wiggles, the Royal Melbourne Hospital reached out for help. And Blue Wiggle Anthony and Red Wiggle Simon were only too happy to help.
G'day, Sarah. Hello, Sarah. It's so great to see you. Sarah, do you know it's really important to wear your nasal prongs all day and all night, just like Anthony's doing right now? Oh, it helps me breathe so beautifully. I love my nasal prongs.
A man has been arrested over bomb threats made in Washington, D.C. Police began negotiating with the driver of a truck which had parked on the footpath near the Library of Congress. His motives remain unknown. The death toll from the powerful earthquake in Haiti has risen to more than 2,000. More than 12,000 people have been left injured and over 300 are still missing after the 7.2 magnitude quake. There are fears for frog species under threat in Australia are already extinct. More from 9 Sarah Bora.
Australia is home to more than 240 frog species, but 26 are on the path to extinction. A study by the Threatened Species Recovery Hub is hoping to prompt the implementation of emergency conservation actions. The report, collated by 29 scientists, is calling on the federal government to ensure refuge habitat and more captive breeding populations. A fungus disease and climate change are the animal's main threats, but loss in habitat, fire and invasive species are also cause for concern.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Who loves South Australia as much as you do? Flurio Milk Company. South Australian and proud of it.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. Port Adelaide has made 2 changes for tonight's blockbuster clash against the Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium. Trent McKenzie and Stephen Motlop come in at the expense of Orazio Fantasia and Tom Clurey. A win would secure the Power a top 2 spot. The Crows, meantime, are set to blood their 9th debutant of the season when Lockie Gollan plays against North Melbourne on Sunday. Well, Josh Inglis has been named in Australia's 15-man squad for the T20 World Cup. The versatile batsman is expected to make an impact on the top and middle order. Chair of Selectors George Bailey says he's been watching Inglis for a while.
In terms of our squad, we think he brings some great flexibility. He's batted at the top, but in terms of guys who have batted at the top and shifted into the middle, I thought his transformation into a middle order player last year for the Scorchers was seamless.
But the West Aussies' inclusion, of course, means that Alex Carey unfortunately misses out. Let's go to tennis. Ash Barty has thrashed Victoria Azarenka to move into the quarterfinals at the Cincinnati Masters. Nick Kyrgios, meantime, has been added to Team World for the lineup in the Laver Cup. And one game in the NRL last night with the Melbourne Storm beating Gold Coast 34-20. It's the Storm's 19th straight win. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now to the weather.
Head to Foodland, Drake's or IGA for Nutrimate, a new dog roll loaded with healthy nutrients.
Showers and 17 today, a shower or two tomorrow, 17. Showers again on Sunday up to 20, then a colder day for Monday with showers down to 13. At the moment, 14. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Say hello confidence in the new Tiguan, now available at Solitaire Volkswagen. Visit solitairevolkswagen.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
25 minutes to 7, the meat tray this morning, thanks to Sam and Karen Windsor Meats in Malvern, 61 Doothie Street, Malvern. We're asking you to tell us some good news after what's been a pretty terrible week, frankly. We got some good news all the way from Philadelphia in the United States, David. The host of the Let's Go to the Phones podcast, the co-host, the Cog and Toboggans, listening in, says we're now the number one ranked Australian breakfast show in Philadelphia. So
seriously,
that's some good news. We're happy to take that.
I really want to go to Philadelphia for two reasons. One is Philly cheesesteak. How good is Philly cheesesteak?
Philly cheesesteak's great. Philly sports fans are about as crazy as South Australian sports fans are as well. They're as parochial and as passionate. So
you know the other lesser-known sandwich from Philadelphia? Slow-cooked pork shoulder served with broccoli rabe, provolone and chili flakes.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely superb. In fact, there's a comparable sandwich that's done at Marino's at the Central Market. I'd like to eat one in about an hour. I think I need it.
Or about an hour ago, if you could go back in time. Now, let's
I think I sang that last night.
Let's get some Meat Tray Friday entries from closer to home. Michael's on the line. Morning to you, Michael.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're well.
Not very well, thanks, Michael, but thanks for asking.
No worries.
So what's your good
Cheer
news,
us up,
Michael?
mate.
Yeah.
Lay some joy on us, please.
44 years, Maria and Michael, from Turret Gardens, married.
Oh, 44 years.
Today, Michael.
Today.
Did we hear?
Oh, mate.
Did we hear your lovely wife in the background there?
She's right next to me in bed. she's the one that told me to ring up.
Oh, mate.
Well, congratulations
Hey, now,
to you
Michael,
both.
you know what we're going to do?
She's here, she said.
Oh, good.
Oh, what about that?
That is good
And
news.
44 years.
Yeah, that's great.
And I'll be 72 on the 25th of August.
You
How's that?
sprightly youngster.
And I'm still doing part-time work.
Oh, mate, good on you. What sort of work do you do?
I do specialise in building renovations.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, I'm in the market for a veranda. I might keep your number. Hey,
you never know, mate. Keep
you know
my
what we're
number.
going to do, mate? We had
Yes.
we had a chat yesterday to James Wohlers. He kindly donated some vouchers for us for the karaoke night.
Oh,
We're going to give you and Maria a $100 Wohlers voucher so you can get a little memento to remember your 44th anniversary.
Happy anniversary from us at 5AA Breakfast.
Thank you so much. Look, you're very kind. We listen to you every morning.
Good on you,
good on
Michael.
you guys.
Lovely to hear from you. Congrats
Happy
to
anniversary.
You. That has made me feel good. That is some
That's
good news.
And look, you know, if there's some major news event this morning of a horrific nature, our pledge to you is we'll get to it in the 9 o'clock news. Totally. This is uncanny. I sat down yesterday and I was thinking about a column topic for Sunday, and I just thought, I am not going to subject myself to another minute's thinking about the news cycle at the moment. And I actually wrote a column instead about how much news should you consume, particularly if you've got children.
Well, it's a great question. It's almost impossible to avoid these days. Let's get into some more good news. Teeter and Mitchell Park, good morning.
Good morning. Well, firstly, my first part of the good news is that I actually got a beautiful 8 hours sleep last night. And
that feels like you may be rubbing it in, do you?
I just had. But no, my veggie patch, I've got magnificent broccoli, spring onions, beetroot, peas.
nice.
They're all superb. They're loving this little bit of heat, rain. So they bring me joy.
What's your broccoli secret, Tina? Because I just cannot do broccoli. I cannot get it.
Oh, you want to hear the funny story about that?
Yeah.
My husband bought this one punnet of broccoli, and I said, that's the most expensive piece of broccoli you're ever going to have. The little leaves on it all got eaten by the snails, and I used to take photos of it because it bring me joy, and I'd send them to my father, and we'd laugh about it. But it grew to a massive piece of broccoli, and we ate it just a couple of days ago. So, yep.
Fantastic.
I don't know what the secret is. It just
Getting snails to eat it, maybe.
Some
Yeah,
things
exactly.
just work in the garden, others don't. I've never been able to grow broccoli.
That's great. Thank you, Tina. That's some good news. Dave in South Brighton, what's your good news?
Morning, guys. I've got a couple of different things, but it's been a struggle year. This is from both ends of the spectrum. My role in work is going to old people's places to help them out through home care packages. And I had to ring up a 91-year-old lady the other day to make an appointment. She had to check her diary to see how busy she was because she was doing so much, which at 9 to 1 I thought was bloody pretty amazing.
That is fantastic.
How good's that?
And then the other thing is my granddaughter, I said, how are you going to school? And she goes, oh, Pop, so cool. She said, I've met this guy, and he is so hot. And then she starts telling me her name and his surname, so, in case they ever get married. He's 7 years old.
How sweet.
Two ends of the spectrum, guys, the old and the young.
Absolutely. Good on
Beautiful,
you, Dave.
Dave.
Thank you. Let's take one more before we go to the break. Police and weather coming up in a moment. Cherie, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thank you, Cherie.
That's good. Well, my news, my fantastic, exciting news, good news, is that I'm going to be a grandmother for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How exciting.
Oh, that's great.
That's my happy news.
Oh, that's beautiful, Cherie.
Have you worked out what kind of grandmother you're going to be, Cherie? You're going to be the spoiling kind?
I think so.
Yeah, you sound like you'd be the lovely spoiling kind that I want to go and hang around with.
Yeah, so that's my happy news for today.
I tell you what, grandparents are the unsung heroes. Kate and I, we would be in more trouble than the early settlers if not for the amount of work my parents did, helping with the kids and having sleepovers and so on. But beyond that, it's just nice to see your own parents relating to your own kids. It's a really happy time for everyone, I think.
Can't wait.
Oh, that's fantastic news, Cherie.
Go on, you, Cherie.
This has worked. David. I'm feeling better.
Yep.
It's 18 minutes to 7, 8223 0000 is the number. You can text us on the Telstra Storm Out Barker text line. Let's check traffic thanks to Dave Potter, their award-winning team that are becoming Glenelg BMW, Adelaide's newest home for BMW.
Good morning. If you're up early, roads flowing pretty well this morning, which is a nice way to kick off a Friday. Simply some roadworks to look out for today at Norwood, McGill Road and Portrush Road for the intersection upgrade there. It's affecting both directions. Speeds reduced down to 40. Northfield got works there too. Grand Junction Road near Hampstead Road for works, affecting both directions as well. Speeds down to 25 k's. And look out for cameras on the drive-in today. Hectorville Road, Hectorville, and Montague Road at Newton. LeBron James teams up with the Looney Tunes gang for Space Jam: A New Legacy. Fast track from cinemas to your home. Space Jam: A New Legacy, new to buy or rent on digital now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Hey, it's Mark Bickley. For 20 years, the team at Jarvis Toyota has been helping South Australian families keep that "oh, what a feeling" feeling. Over that time, Jarvis has put their support behind Variety, the children's charity, as platinum sponsor of the Variety 4-wheel drive adventure. And they've got plenty more support to give. If you're about to rediscover the road, make sure you take a proper test drive from the range at Jarvis Toyota. South Road, Clovelly Park, proudly celebrating 20 years of support in 2021.
Do you think a concert pianist needs a builder's license? No. Does a chartered accountant need one? Nah. Okay, then what about a house inspector? This will surprise you. Right now, there are no regulations in the industry that say you must be a builder to become a house inspector. Mike Pearl from House Inspect Australia is a third-generation licensed builder, and his team is the most qualified team in Australia for house inspections. It's the biggest purchase decision of your life. Don't risk it. Go to houseinspectaustralia.com.au.
Now, David, needless to say, we are massive fans of Puritap. They're a great local company, and they're part of the 5AA family. They make our water more beautiful, clean, fresh, healthy. Have you drunk some water this morning?
I drank quite a lot of water. In fact, I did my usual trick, and it's a life-saving one, and always use the Puritap, of course, because it's beautiful, crisp and fresh water, but drink as much as you can. Drink about 600 mils before you go to bed.
Straight out of the tap?
Yep, head under the tap, slurp away. There we go.
How good's this?
That might be a Monato Zoo sound. Who knows?
It could well be. It could be the Drunken David. Do they have one of those at Monato?
Yeah, I think they should. They should be in some sort of an enclosure.
A Puritap is very affordable too. You can get one from $49 up front. Incredible value.
$49.
$49.
That's
exactly
ridiculous.
right.
I don't even know if that's a viable business model.
No, it's a charity, in fact. They shouldn't have to pay tax.
Giving taps away.
A Puritap from only $49, and you get a designer tap installation and filters for 2 years on a great payment plan. Designed and manufactured right here in Adelaide, Puritap service and install their famous quality water purifiers, and rest assured their professional team of installers are following strict hygiene protocols. Never run out of pure, clean drinking water. It's a world-class product that we are proud to be associated with. So call Puritap 133502 or go to puritap.com.au. Some T's and C's apply.
Hearing Australia.
Hi, I'd like to ask about hearing aids, please.
Sure, but why are we whispering?
So we don't disturb the fish.
Oh, right, okay. Well, For over 70 years, Hearing Australia has helped 1 million Australians with hearing loss discover the secret to celebrating the sounds they love.
Do you have a secret for catching fish too?
Oh, I'm afraid not. But our range includes hearing aids that can be so discreet, people probably won't realise you're wearing one. And for eligible pensioners under the Hearing Services Program, there are 3 device choices to choose from that are free. And we will care for your hearing for life.
Got him, you beauty!
Hearing Australia. Discover the secret to celebrating sound in your life. Call 134 432 or 134 HERE today.
You can trust 9 News is live and local. Weeknights at 5, nightly at 6. 9 News.
Say hello confidence in the new Tiguan, now available at Solitaire Volkswagen. Visit solitairevolkswagen.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
14 minutes to 7. Let's check in with SAPOL. Senior Constable Christina Phillipson is on the line. Morning to you, Christina.
Good morning.
Now, there's been a stolen car that got torched. Where was this?
Yeah, this was at Elizabeth South. Police are investigating after a stolen car was set alight there this morning. That was about 12:45 a.m. this morning that started. Northern District Patrol spotted a black Subaru Liberty travelling along Quinlivan Road at FIVEaa, and checks on the car revealed that it had been stolen from a home in Paradise on Wednesday the 18th. The patrol activated their emergency lights in an attempt to stop that vehicle, but it took off from them at speed, and police pursued the car for a short time west onto Montague Road before terminating the pursuit for safety reasons. And then just after 1 a.m, police were called to Ridley Road in Elizabeth South after a resident reported seeing a group of men pull up in a black Subaru and flee, with the car bursting into flames shortly after. So police, including police dog Bandit, searched the area but have not been able to locate the suspects yet, and the car was towed from the scene. And the suspects are described as men of African appearance, and anyone with information that may assist is asked to call Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
Also, Christina, police are still looking for that carjacking suspect.
Yes, that's right. They're investigating an aggravated robbery in Paralawi this morning, which led to a serious crash at Edinburgh soon after. About 4:30 a.m. this morning, a man was asleep in his green VY Commodore on Jesse Road when he was allegedly dragged from his car and assaulted by 2 masked offenders. The 2 suspects then stole the Commodore and sped off, and the victim was taken to hospital with serious injuries. And soon after, at about 4:50 a.m, police were called to Edinburgh Road near Sturton Road at Edinburgh after reports of a serious crash between a green VY Commodore and a Mitsubishi Lancer. And so when police arrived, they found the driver of the Commodore and the driver of the Mitsubishi still at the scene with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. However, the passenger of the Commodore was not located, and police, with the assistance of police dog Zeus, searched the area but have been unable to locate that passenger at this time. And they have serious concerns for the welfare of the man, and they're asking anyone with information, again, to contact Crime Stoppers. And motorists are advised that road closures and restrictions are in place. They're on Edinburgh Road and Sturton Road, and so you may want to avoid that area, or you can take direction from emergency services at the scene.
Good stuff, Christina. Thanks for that. You have a good weekend.
Thanks very much.
I didn't realise there was another Quinlivan Road. Quinlivan Road is one of the big main roads down Aldinga, Port Wollonga. But this Quinlivan Road, which was in the first news item, it's spelt differently. Quinlivan.
You're never too old to learn.
Yeah, well, that's right. There you go. Fascinating. It's a new segment we call Name That Adelaide Road.
So we'll get a sponsor for it. It'll take off.
Absolutely.
Simon Timke, Senior Forecaster with the Weather Bureau, is also on the line. Morning to you, Simon.
Good morning, guys.
Just give us a little preview of the weekend.
Yeah, look, a band of cloud moving across Adelaide area today. Well, moving across the south of the state, actually. And there's some showers in it. We've had a couple of very light showers move across the Adelaide area during the last hour or so. Only a fraction of a millimetre in a few spots. Further west in the state, we've seen a few spots pick up to around 2 millimetres or so out of it. So not expecting any big totals today. Looking at the radar at the moment, quite a few showers just up over the mid-north and a couple over York Peninsula, but not much around the Adelaide area right now. We're still in a northerly airstream, and it's been quite a warm night. Our minimum temperature here in the city just 14.3 at about 6:05, and most of the suburbs still sitting on around the sort of 14, 15 degree mark at the moment. But there is a westerly wind change just moving across the south of York Peninsula now, which will move across the Adelaide area and bring some cooler conditions with it as well. So although we're on about 14 degrees now, we're expecting a maximum of only 17 degrees. So temperature won't be rising a whole lot during the day, and a couple of showers around as well with the with that westerly wind change as well. So 17 for the city, around the suburbs, 17 as well for Elizabeth, 16 for Glenelg and Noarlunga, 15 degrees for Mount Barker. For the weekend, I think we'll see a little bit of fog around the hills tomorrow morning, partly cloudy conditions over the plains. Still one or two showers around, I think most likely during the morning and the early part of the afternoon. And the wind's generally westerly and not too strong. Maximum temperature tomorrow, same as today, 17 degrees. And there's another cold front moving across on Sunday, but I don't think we'll really feel the effects of that until later in the day. So should be dry conditions at first, and then we'll see some showers develop, probably not until late afternoon and evening. So the wind's northerly at first, turning westerly during the afternoon as that change moves across and freshening up a little bit. So see those showers a bit later, but ahead of those showers, maximum temperature 20 degrees. So a warm day on Sunday, and then a return to wintry conditions early next week following Sunday's cold front. Quite cold air coming up. So for Monday, showers around, chance of some small hail as well. The westerly winds turning southwesterly, a maximum temperature of only 13 degrees for Monday. So it's a pretty cold burst there, just 14 degrees for Tuesday with a shower or two still. So enjoy the warm day on Sunday, because it will be a return to winter for Monday.
Certainly sounds like it.
Good on you, Simon. Simon Timke, Senior Forecaster at the Weather Bureau. We want your good news this morning for the meat trade. It's been a miserable news all week. We'll take you through some of the big stories after 7, but all throughout the morning, your good news stories will enter you in the meat tray, thanks to Sam and Karen at Windsor Meats in Malvern. You know the place, 61 Doothie Street, Malvern.
No one likes to wait, especially if you're waiting for something really amazing, like a new Mazda. Lucky, you won't have to wait too long at Mawson Lakes Mazda. Right now, you'll find new stock and demos right across the range, which means there's no compromise. You'll get everything you want and love in your new Mazda. Get behind the wheel of your dream Mazda sooner. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
Get Demazin 12-hour nasal decongestant spray that unblocks and clears nasal congestion fast. Demazin gets it done. Now available at Terry White Kmart for $7.69. Sale ends September 7, 2021 while stocks last. Follow the directions for use.
Eye health on healthy living. Thanks to Specsavers.
Michelle Fan is an optometrist with Specsavers. There's a huge range of lenses on the market. Walk us through the most popular options and why someone would choose one particular type of contact lens over another.
The main types of soft lenses are daily disposable, so they wear them once and they throw them away. And they're convenient because you don't have to clean them. They're great for shift workers or people who are on the go. And they're very hygienic because you're also throwing away your germs at the end of each use as well. The other main type are monthlies, which people use during the day when they're awake, and then they clean them at the end of the day while they sleep, and then they rewear them again the next day. In the past, people tend to go to these because it's a good cost-saving option. But the contact lens market is seeing more of a shift towards dailies because of the convenience and the health benefits.
Specsavers, where every eye test includes an OCT Advanced 3D eye scan at no extra charge.
Census Night was Tuesday the 10th of August. It's not too late, so complete now. For help, visit census.abs.gov.au or call 1800 512 441. Authorised by the Australian Bureau of Statistics, Canberra.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. Say hello confidence in the new Tiguan, now available at Solitaire Volkswagen. Visit solitairevolkswagen.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
6 to 7, big night at the karaoke night last night. Flawless Sing have done it tough. They've been trading without any customers effectively, or at least trying to, which is an impossible task. So last night, we got a whole bunch of listeners, went along, sang some songs, had a really terrific time. We're wondering who got in the latest. Was it Tom Wren? We think it might have been Tom Wren. David was right up there on the ladder. You guys were in the top 4. You have a home final. But top of the ladder was our octogenarian Barry sitting in the front row, who was singing wonderfully and putting on a real show.
Was he ever?
We've tracked him down this morning. Barry, good morning to you, mate. Have you been home yet?
Good morning. Good morning. Is that David?
No, that was Will, Barry. It's David here now, mate.
Will. Yeah, I'm still here, Will.
You're still there? What do you mean, at Lasing?
In Goodger Street.
So you haven't been home yet?
No, hell no.
It's 5 to 7, Barry.
What's open?
Mate.
What actually happened, I rang my son about 6 this morning and let him break the news to my wife.
Oh, so are you out? You've been flying solo for the last few hours, have you, Barry?
I'm in the motel just up the road from where we were last night.
Oh, is that the one just next door there, the one there on Goodger Street, Barry?
Yes, I must have went to sleep at the table there, and that's where I am now, up at the motel.
Hey,
that is a sensational
do you reckon
effort, mate.
You in trouble when you get home, Barry?
Oh, shit, have you got a spare piece of land so I can pitch a tent? Yeah.
This is like the movie The Hangover, Baz. So, can you remember? Can you piece it all back in your mind? Do you know what time you left the karaoke bar?
No idea. Someone brought me up to the motel.
Yeah, right.
What was the last song you remember singing?
I wasn't singing.
Oh, you're just hanging out.
You were sitting with those sensational sisters who were doing the duets.
Were they two sisters, were they?
Yeah.
A little bit large, weren't they?
Well, one of them. I'm not sure, but we don't.
Barry, I think your sense of perception may have been out. Yeah, it might have been somewhat distorted.
How long before I'd better drive the car home, do you think?
I don't know. Leave it there
Wednesday?
I think.
So your son's coming to get you, Barry?
No. I don't know. I'll probably get a sticker on the car being there too long.
Yeah. Well, we might.
I should have saw Sandy to give me an exemption last night.
Well, it would have been the night to ask you, Barry. Thanks for supporting Lasing. Sounds like Barry's made up for Lasing's lack of trading last month.
I'm going to say, Barry, I don't want to put you on the spot, mate. You're 82, though, aren't you?
Yeah, coming 82 in February.
Mate, you are an inspiration to younger people who say, I'd better tune in for the night. It's 5 to 7. You're still going. That is extraordinary, mate. And also, we thank you so much for supporting a local business.
Oh, hell, I reckon it's a terrific night. When's the next one?
Well, mate, you better clear that with your missus.
Yeah, I think you might be still in.
I'm not going to go home.
Yeah.
No, well, good luck on that front, mate.
Come up with a good excuse,
You know
Barry.
the feeling?
Oh, yes.
You know the
We've all
feeling?
been there.
Oh,
Good on you, Barry.
We just had to lose the last little bit of Barry there. Because Barry exclaimed in a way that's not broadcast language about the prospect of having to explain to his wife
It's 5 to 7.
where he's been for the last 8 hours.
Well, the last.
Oh, my word.
He was first in too, because I got there to do some technical stuff with Jason just after 6. Barry was already there.
Helen
The
in Royal
doors opened
Park.
at 7. He was an hour early.
Helen in Royal Park's got a Meat Tray Friday entry for us. Some good news. Sorry you had to hear the language there, Helen. We everyone else didn't get to hear it.
I've heard a lot in my life.
Oh, good. Okay.
You just heard a little bit more, Helen.
Now, Helen, what's your good news? What is the good news you've got for us this morning?
The good news is my husband's 76 years today.
Oh, happy birthday to him.
Yeah, he's gone for a walk. He goes for a walk every morning. I don't know how he does it.
In this
He
cold?
meets a couple of other fellas. Yeah, every morning he leaves 6:30. He's back and I make sure he's got breakfast on the table ready.
Oh, he sounds like a lucky man.
We've been married 56 years.
56 years, Helen.
Wow.
Yeah. It's funny how we met. You know, I'm from Mildura, grew up in Mildura. We came to Adelaide when I was 17, and my husband wanted me to work in I wanted shop work. My sister wanted factory work, and they wanted 2 girls in this factory, Schumann Lighting, where Spotlight is. And I said, no, I don't want factory work. And the unemployment man goes, listen, girlie, that's how I used to talk to the country girls. He said, take the job now and I'll find you. Oh, well, you didn't tell me that. And he found me shop work. I worked in the Central Market 20 years. And
Oh, really? Where'd you work there, Helen?
Athens Gourmet.
Oh, Athens, that was the one that Connie owned.
Yeah, Con and Alfonso.
That was such a landmark delicatessen. That was like the first real continental deli in South Australia.
Yeah, that was a very, and we still keep in touch.
Well, she's the mum of the Lucia's people too, isn't she?
Well, not mum, but
there's some sort of link.
Friends, yeah.
Athens, what a beautiful spot.
Yeah. Hey, Helen, that's a wonderful little bit of good news this morning. Congratulations. Happy birthday to your husband. And thanks for calling in. You're well and truly in the running to win the meat tray. 8223 is the number. You can text us on the Telstra Storm Out Barker text line. We've got our delay back after that little slip-up with Barry a moment ago, who's somehow still going out there.
We're getting a hell of a lot of texts on the old Telstra Storm Out Barker text line. People think we should hire Barry permanently on staff and have him as a daily contributor.
Well,
with an 8-second delay.
I'm not sure if Barry's liver's up to a daily punishing like it just got. We'll be back shortly.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Showers and 17 with the 7 o'clock news. I'm Kendall Brattig.
Trust FIVEaa Extra. Norwood, Purie Street, Marion, Hallicove, Seaford and Victor Harbour. PhysioExtra.com.
The first Afghanistan rescue flight has touched down at Perth Airport with around 90 people on board. More from Nine's Eliza Edwards.
There's relief for Australians and Afghans on a flight from Dubai to Perth, which landed early this morning. The group of around 90 was then transferred by bus to hotel quarantine. Last night there were plans for another airlift out of Kabul. Australians and visa holders were again told to make the dangerous journey to the airport. And the hope is more of our people can board British and American flights out of Afghanistan in the days ahead.
SA's COVID restrictions will be reviewed by the State Transition Committee today. No major announcements are expected, but authorities will assess density limits, caps on gatherings and rules around mask wearing. Easing border restrictions with parts of regional Queensland will also be on the agenda. Businesses are seeking greater clarity on vaccine mandates, worried if they force staff to be inoculated, they could face legal action. Others are concerned they could be liable if they don't make the COVID shot compulsory and staff or customers get sick. Business SA Chief Martin Hazy says it's a bit of a grey area.
At the moment, Business SA has a position where we encourage employers to encourage their staff to get vaccinated, because this has not been tested in the courts. And unless you are working in a industry which is clearly of the risk profile, which demands that under the Workplace Health and Safety Act that you must be vaccinated in order to turn up for your job, it's actually quite grey in absence of that because it's untested in the court.
A stolen car has been torched at Elizabeth South. Senior Constable Christina Phillipson says the black Subaru Liberty was spotted at Paraka.
Police pursued the car for a short time before terminating the pursuit for safety reasons. And then just after 1 a.m, police were called to Ridley Road in Elizabeth South after a resident reported seeing a group of men pull up in a black Subaru and flee, with the car bursting into flames shortly after. So police, including police dog Bandit, searched the area but have not been able to locate the suspects yet.
The car was stolen from Paradise on Wednesday. The link between cannabis use and premature birth has been uncovered by a new study. Researchers in Melbourne have found teenagers who frequently use cannabis are more likely to have premature babies when they become parents later in life. Murdoch Children's Research Institute Professor George Patton says they found greater use among adolescent males.
Many of the heavy cannabis users were males rather than young women. And so we think that this link is probably a link between heavy male cannabis use and the outcome of prematurity in later offspring.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
3 words make a big difference to our local dairy farmers. Flurio Milk Company. In your supermarket now.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. Adelaide will trim its squad of 26 back to 22 later today ahead of Sunday's final match of the season against North Melbourne. The Crows won't play finals for a 4th straight season and will bid farewell to Dave McKay and Tom Lynch, who are set to play their final games with the club. Captain Rory Sloane telling Rowie it will be sad to see them go, and it's been an unusual week.
It's strange, but I don't like the feeling, to be honest, mate. I hate finishing up early. Would much rather be playing finals.
Port Adelaide, meantime, will take on the Bulldogs tonight as they look to lock in a top 2 spot. You can hear that match live here on 5AA. Well, Adam Scott has made a strong start at the Northern Trust Open in New Jersey. The Aussie is only 2 shots behind joint leaders Justin Thomas and John Rahm. The Wallabies are preparing to face the All Blacks in the final test of the Bledisloe Cup Series at Optus Stadium tomorrow week. Wallabies scrum half Nick White says they're hoping to bring some joy to those doing it tough under COVID restrictions.
In professional sport, we've been really well looked after, so hopefully it gives people something to look at while they're all in lockdown.
To tennis, Ash Barty's great forms continued after she smashed Victoria Azarenka in straight sets, losing only 2 games. And Tottenham has gone down 1-0 to Portuguese club Paços de Ferreira in the first leg. That's in their Europa League playoff. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now let's check traffic.
Opening soon, the award-winning team at Dave Potter and now Glenelg BMW, Adelaide's newest home for BMW.
Roads looking pretty good this morning. If you're up nice and early, simply some roadworks to look out for. Woodville Park, Port Road between Kilkenny Road and Woodville Road. Speeds reduced for those works. That's down to 40. Northville, these are for the works. Grand Junction Road near Hampstead Road. Speeds down to 25 k's. And we've got cameras this morning on the drive-in. Hectorville Road, Hectorville. So Donald Bradman Drive, Brooklyn Park and Tapley's Hill Road at Fulham Gardens. The impact of the current fruit fly outbreak is in your hands. Find out how you can limit the movement of some fruit and vegetables at fruitfly.sa.gov.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Head to Foodland, Drake's or IGA for Nutrimate, a new dog roll loaded with healthy nutrients.
Showers and 17 today, a shower or 2 tomorrow, 17. Showers again for Sunday up to 20, then a colder day Monday with showers 13. At the moment, 14. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Say hello confidence in the new Tiguan, now available at Solitaire Volkswagen. Visit solitairevolkswagen.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Seven minutes after 7, the meat tray today is the focus. Thanks to Sam and Karen Windsor Meats in Malvern. We're asking you to tell us some good news. It's been a tough week news-wise. We'll get into some of the stories of the last 24 hours in just a moment. But 8223 terrific stories of people whose anniversary it is today. People are about to become a grandparent for the first time. Others that managed to grow broccoli in the garden.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't, big or small, it doesn't matter what your good news is. 8223 is the place to share it. But let's get into the news. And the most troubling and challenging element of the news cycle this last 7 days have, of course, been what's coming out of Afghanistan. And we spoke earlier in the program in news headlines about the difficulty Australian forces are now having getting people who are approved to leave Afghanistan onto Australian planes and out of the country. And Stuart Ramsey, who we've played a couple of times reporting in Afghanistan, in Kabul for Sky News, caught up with a local Afghan man who speaks really good English, and he explains the difficulty, what it's like when you try to get from the Taliban-controlled area to where Australian, British and US Air Forces are trying to evacuate people.
I've been stuck here for the past 2 days. I'm trying to get in. I went to the Americans. They pushed me out. They kicked me out. I went to the Germans. They beat me out with the sticks. They fired us. You see these gas fires that they make you cry?
Yeah, tear gas.
Yeah, tear gas.
My mom is sick.
He's
like
a 1 year old kid. They fired with the gas. And everyone was crying right here like an hour ago. The tear gas in between the kids. You see the kids, they're like 1 year old kid. How can you put the gas? The Americans.
Is that the Americans? Sir?
Yeah, and they're too rude. The Americans, the Germans, they're too rude. They beat up people with baseball bats.
That's the scene at the moment.
What a total shambles.
It's just,
unbelievable.
Yeah, there's no better way to describe it than that. Just an awful scene. Here in South Australia, the focus in a political sense in the last 24 hours has switched to the prospect of Adelaide hosting the grand final in a more real way. There's some genuine momentum from the state government to try and make this happen. And what we might do is play a little bit of Grab for Rowie Sports Show now that we would otherwise save for later, thanks to Toyota Land Cruiser 300 series that's coming to North Point Toyota. Don't miss out, order now. It's the North Point way, where Rowie caught up with the Premier. Have a listen to this.
The Premier of South Australia, Stephen Marshall. Premier, thanks for your time.
Good afternoon, Rowie, and good afternoon to your listeners.
Have we as a state put a bid in for the AFL Grand Final?
Look, we're certainly in discussions with the AFL. As you can imagine, their goal is to play their games in accordance with the normal way that they run these finals fixtures. Clearly today we have another 57 new coronavirus infections in Victoria, and many of those, double digits in fact, have been out and about in the community. So that's putting them under a lot of pressure. And so, yes, we are talking to them.
Are we their preferred option?
Oh, look, it's hard to say. It's early days. Certainly the players love the Adelaide Oval. I think the viewers love the Adelaide Oval. It's an incredible place to play. We haven't had an AFL Grand Final there in the past, and this is probably our best chance ever, probably the only chance we ever get to play an AFL Grand Final, and that's why we're in discussions with them. But as I said, it's still very early days.
The Adelaide Oval has a hotel. Can that be used as a quarantine, ring a still around it? So I think a non-negotiable for players have said we want our families and loved ones to be able to attend. Would you allow that?
Look, I think they're all the things that SA Health is looking at with regard to who would come in, when they would come in, how long they would be, what sort of sterile corridor that they would need to be. I think it's too early, and we certainly have never been in a position where we've tried to sort of do this via the media. We've done it directly with the AFL. We did it directly with the AFL last year. But I think it's a changed scenario this year. I think we've been very accommodating in terms of, as I said, getting that sterile corridor up and running, having games played in South Australia and doing it really successfully.
So the bid hinges on whether WA is effectively too difficult to deal with, because they can offer, in terms of a football aesthetic, a better package, bigger stadium with a large number of fans there.
Have you been to that stadium?
I have,
haven't you? You flew over for the Crows FIVEaa game last year.
Year before.
That's right.
Yeah. Went over there for Crows FIVEaa. It's a lovely stadium. Now, it doesn't have the character of Adelaide Oval. It's not.
But
it's
you get
less
20,000
unique.
more people in.
You get 20,000 more people, and it is one of those really wonderfully well-designed modern stadium where every single seat feels like you're sitting on top of the action.
Yeah.
It's designed well. But I think Adelaide Oval has more character. It's more unique. But I think the bigger factor, irrespective of the actual ground, is going to be how many people you can get there. And right now you can get 15,000 at Adelaide Oval. So that's what we're up against.
Are we in talks with the AFL, or are we in talks with the AFL and offering to pay to host it?
Well, that's an excellent question. That's something that deserves further exploration. What costs do the taxpayer have to bear?
We'll put a call into the Premier's office this morning. That's a fair question.
Yeah, I think it's a totally fair question. Hey, Australia's always at its best when it copies South Australia, and the Prime Minister yesterday announced that, like we've been able to do here, that all Australians aged over 16 will be eligible for COVID vaccination from the 30th of August. That means an extra 8.6 million people can get vaccinated right around the country in 10 days' time. You can start booking in and get vaccinated, like you have been able to do here in South Australia, which is good news. Now,
we hit 50% yesterday of Australians having had their first jab.
50%.
Which is good.
It's fantastic.
It's moving quickly now. It feels like only a few weeks ago we were sitting here talking and it was 14%.
It is moving quickly, which is why you're getting those projections about things being around that 70 to 80% mark by December. What do you make of the really intriguing story on the front page of the Oz this morning? New South Wales plan out of its current predicament. Restaurants, bars, gyms would reopen to vaccinated people from New South Wales once they hit 70%. So not once they've got to zero COVID cases.
No.
Gladys Berejiklian is now making the point that, guess what? Delta is different. We have to live with it. And other states are going to have to get used to that fact. Mark McGowan's saying the exact opposite. We're behaving in the exact opposite way.
What's Scott Morrison saying?
Well, I mean, I think he's been totally sidestepped in the entire conversation about how this country manages COVID, frankly.
Yeah.
He's been totally marginalised. It's just relevant.
Yeah.
It's a squabble between premiers to work out
He always
what the
sounds like
national
a
policy is
commentator,
going to be.
doesn't he?
Yeah, he's urging.
He pops up
He
with
urges.
the odd observation.
I mean, nothing more underscores the fact than coming up with a national exit plan that everyone is totally either... Well, Stephen Marshall has signed up to it, but everyone else has disregarded it. New South Wales have decided to do their own version. WA is going to do their totally own version. Victoria's got their own version. So that you've got the Prime Minister and the National Cabinet saying, here's our plan out, and nobody listens?
It is pretty amazing.
It's an extraordinary situation.
And that's not even necessarily it's a partial criticism of him, and I think he deserves to be criticised. But it's also just a reflection of how, when push comes to shove, how things work in a federation.
Absolutely. AstraZeneca's not called AstraZeneca anymore. People waking up this morning might be surprised to hear that. It's been rebranded. It's got a new name.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's not called AstraZeneca anymore. It's called FIVEaa. FIVEaa. It's a bit harder to say. FIVEaa. An application to rename it was approved by Australia's medical regulator. The Therapeutic Goods Administration have approved the rebrand. The issue we've had is apparently it's not called AstraZeneca in other parts of the world. It's called FIVEaa, which is a real problem if you're standing in the line at customs and they say, "What, have you been vaccinated?" And you say, "Yeah, AstraZeneca," and they go, "What in the hell is that?" So they're trying to keep the name uniform, or at least that's the public explanation. Some people have speculated that maybe it just could do with a rebrand here in Australia. So, of course, you're not getting the AstraZeneca now. You're getting the FIVEaa.
The
FIVEaa.
There you go.
I can't even say it.
I tell you what, we are getting inundated on the Telstra Store Mount Barker text line. We found a new hero, Will. His name's Barry. A lot of people are nominating Barry, or particularly Barry's wife. We probably quite fairly call her today Barry's long-suffering wife. She should win the meat tray. Now, we still want to take more meat tray entries, but I think that there is a hell of a lot of merit in that idea, given the night she's had.
We should, for those people that are just waking up, Barry was front and centre at the karaoke last night. 81 years of age. Called in at 5 to 7 this morning. Hadn't gotten home yet. His son has called his wife to tell him that he was okay.
He's fine.
He's been put into a motel.
Well, I think he had a bit of a kip at the karaoke bar. He was still firing on all cylinders when I left just before 1 a.m. So it's licensed till 3, and there were a lot of stayers there last night. And there were people arriving as we were leaving. There were people coming there after meals and so on. And last I saw, gave him a hug on the way out, said, "Baz, pleasure to meet you, mate. Look after yourself." So he stayed there, had a bit of a nap. Someone, probably Jace from Lasing, put him next door because there's that motel there.
Yeah.
So he dossed down for the night, and he woke up and he rang us. So, but he's in. We've some people. Jane with a Y sent in a lovely text saying, "Make sure he's all right." We have made sure he's all right. He's fine. He's good. He's just gonna, potter around for a bit and then
recover.
Yeah, head home later today.
Much later today.
Yeah.
That's right. 17 after 7. Let's check traffic. Opening soon, the award-winning team at Dave Potter. They're now Glenelg BMW, Adelaide's newest home for BMW.
Busy on the drive in a few spots this morning, including Karata Park, South Road, and Anzac Highway as you're heading towards Mile End. And Edwardstown also busy on South Road. That's from Tonsley Village to Dawes Road. Look out for work slowing things up this morning too at Northfield, Grange Junction Road near Hampstead Road. Speeds down to 40 k's. And Norwood delays there too. McGill Road at Portrush Road for the intersection upgrade. It's affecting both directions too, and it's down to 40 k's. Looking to connect your phone or tablet? Telstra plans come with no lock-in and no excess data charges in Australia. Visit Telstra for more information today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Leon Biner.
And there's no doubt it's coming across loud and clear that many are having huge problems in being treated promptly by our health system when you need it. There is no doubt to me that this situation, as reported by you, is now worse than it's ever been. The official data shows that too.
9 till 12 weekdays.
Ambulance ramping worse than it's ever been. Ambulance response times worse than they've ever been.
SSA as Leon Biner. SSA as AA.
It's the little things that make a big difference to your day, like a thank you email from a colleague or a smile from a stranger on the train. And it can all start here with a healthy, delicious breakfast made with the goodness of Aussie-made Pura milk. It's got 8 essential nutrients and vitamins to kickstart your morning and set you up for the day ahead. So start your day the positive way with Pura.
Finally, you can get back to the Lion. Get back to Slow Cook Sundays. Every Sunday, the Lion's Kitchen will be roasting up a storm with an ever-evolving selection of your favourites. Lamb, beef, pork with the best crackling in town. Head to lionhotel.com.au to find out what's new on the menu.
Back to the Lion.
Get back to Sundays, perfected with slow cooked roasts. Get back to where you belong. The Lion, North Adelaide.
You could easily be living the life, but you'll need to be quick.
The 19th at West is selling premium 2, 3 and 4 bedroom architecturally designed homes from just $730K. Stunning homes with a stunning lifestyle. Explore West's green pathways, paddle on the iconic lake, swim at Grange Beach, or play around at the Grange Golf Club. Start building now and move in next year. Hurry, from $730K, they'll sell fast. Visit the19thwest.com.au.
20 years ago, David, 2001 was a massive year. Wikipedia launched that year.
Wow.
What did we do before Wikipedia? You had to
Research
open up
stuff.
encyclopedia.
Read books and things.
Exactly right. George W. Bush was sworn in as the President of the United States. The Brisbane Lions, one of the great teams in AFL history.
Arguably the greatest.
Yep, absolutely. And our good friend, Vicky Frizik, started at Mediacom, now known as Carrot. Speaking of one of the greats.
Carrot. She is absolute rolled gold Carrot when it comes to this amazing ad work that she does. Now, today we celebrate Vic's 20 years at Carrot. It's one of Adelaide's leading media agencies, and she's a huge part of their success. Vic's been instrumental in helping grow many of SA's biggest brands with successful advertising strategies and cementing them in the minds of customers across Australia and also internationally.
Vicky, having started in 2001, probably predates the origins of the term GOAT.
Yeah.
Vicky's the GOAT.
She is. She
like
is.
A legit, before we just started throwing it around willy-nilly.
Absolutely.
She's a mover and shaker in the Adelaide market, held in such high regard, absolute pleasure to work with. So on behalf of the entire team at Nova Entertainment, we thank you, Vic, for your business and your friendship, and congratulations on your 20 years. And here's to the next 20.
Finally, you can get back to the Lion. Get back to early knock-off drinks with your workmates and friends. And we've got something you'll want to come back to the Lion for. $8 glasses of wine and $10 spritz cocktails, $6 schooners, and that's all tap beers.
Back to the Lion.
Get back to knock-off drinks, 3 p.m. till 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Get back to where you belong. The Lion, North Adelaide.
Have you heard? From September 1, Dave Potter will become Glenelg BMW. At the same location on Brighton Road, you can speak to the same multi-award-winning team now about a new BMW. If you already have a BMW, then Glenelg BMW Service Centre will soon be able to look after you and your existing car. Adelaide's newest home to BMW is arriving soon to one of the oldest and most awarded dealerships in SA. Visit glenelgbmw.com.au to find out more.
At Swan Security, we've been keeping Australian homes safe for over 30 years. Our new Extreme Wireless cameras combine easy setup with extremely long rechargeable battery life up to 6 months. With HD video, two-way talk, mobile alerts, free recording and more, all controllable on the Swan Security app. The Extreme is now available from leading electronics retailers and swan.com. So turn your home sweet home into a home safe home with Swan Security.
You can't go past the IGA Big Deal Sale for great specials right across the store. Like Dove Antiperspirant Spray, $2.20 to $2.54 mil, selected varieties, $3.50 each, half price. Now at your local IGA. Offer ends August 24. Participating stores only, excludes Foodland.
At Acres of Lawn, they have everything you need to create a quality outdoor space. So much so, they're opening a new shop and display centre at Aldershot Road, Lonsdale. Get friendly advice, DIY products and landscaping options at your fingertips. Save up to 20% during August on the new range of Acres Lawn and Garden products. Aldershot Road, Lonsdale.
They've got it all. Just give them a call at Acres of Lawn.
History. We all have it. At Steinborner Automotive, we're proud of our Holden heritage. That's why at Steinborner Automotive, we're here for you. So when it's time to trade in your Holden for a new or quality used car, we have a $1,000 trade-in bonus. That's right, $1,000 trade-in bonus when you purchase any new or demo Hyundai, Mitsubishi, Ford or quality used car. And we have over 350 used cars available. Write the next chapter of your driving history with Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth the trip.
You can trust 9 News is live and local. Weeknights at 5, nightly at 6. 9 News.
It's 24 minutes after 7. The meat tray this morning. It's a very simple question. We just want some good news.
And if you tell us some good news, you're in the running to win a meat tray thanks to Sam and Karen. Windsor Meats in Melbourne, 61 Doothie Street, Melbourne. Craig on Twitter at 5AA Breakfast says, hey guys, my good news for the day, my 24-year-old son is moving out of home. Empty nesting Craig, maybe, might have other kids, but at least one's gone. Congratulations to you, Craig. Some good news in your world this morning.
Bittersweet moment for parents, I reckon.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Craig's just tongue-in-cheek there. Another one here, not Craig, Craigburn Primary, from Lisa in Happy Valley, who's a teacher at Craigburn Primary. She says, here's some good news. I took my Year 2 class on an excursion yesterday to the Migration Museum and Ayers House. We had a brilliant day out, perfect weather, great venues in the city, fantastic to be out and about again. Good stuff.
Absolutely. Joanne in Fullerton's on the line. Morning to you, Joanne.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Good, thank you, Joanne.
Yeah, so my good news story is my eldest son and his wife have found out they're having a baby, which is my first grandchild.
Oh, lovely.
Not one, but two. They're having twins.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, so a little boy and a little girl, so they're soon going to know what lack of sleep's all about.
See, there's an argument that you can actually, if you well, most people do, have two children, you can sort of get it all over and done within one hit that way.
True, yeah. And the second lot of good news is they get their keys to their house today, so I wanted to win the meat tray as a housewarming gift for them.
Oh, what a beautiful call, Joanne.
Yeah, so yeah.
That's sensational. It's all happening in their world.
All happening in their world, sure is.
How exciting being a grandparent.
I know.
You sound too young to be a grandma.
No,
just
well,
quietly.
I've got four like you, two boys and a girl, and he's the eldest one. So yeah, be lovely.
Excellent. What a happy time.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing it.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
I like this. Good for the soul. My fragile mental state. I don't want to sit here talking about, resurgent Talibans and COVID whatevers.
Just goes to you need to look closer in people's own individual circumstances to get the good news.
Why isn't that a story? Like, that should actually be a story. Woman to become grandmother.
Yeah, front page.
Yeah.
Advertise it.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Good news. 8223 is the number. You can text us on the Telstra Storm Out Barker text line on that, or indeed any subject matter. We giving away that wonderful meat tray, but if there's anything else you'd like to comment on, you can. Phil Courier coming up a little bit later in the morning.
If there's one good news headline I want to read, it's this: troubled man receives bacon and egg roll.
How are you feeling?
Not very well. I was flying for the first hour, but it's just all the endorphins have gone.
I predicted 7:50 the wall would hit.
Now gone 20 minutes
Tom
early.
Wren, we haven't heard from Rennie for a little while.
I think he might have done a Barry. He's going to enter the vernacular, doing a Barry. I think he might have dozed off in the newsroom. We'll find out shortly. If there's no sport at 7:33, it's because Tom's lapsed into a coma.
What he's doing is Barry doing a Barry sort of waking up randomly in a motel, wondering where you are.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever woken up and thought, "My God, where am I?"
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Is it, or is it waking up at 7 a.m.? Being still out at 7 a.m. Is it being 80 and being out at 7
a.m.? Staying in a
a.m.?
hotel without knowing it is real, hangover one quality. That is. I dips my lid, Barry. If you're still listening, mate. That is.
No, I hope he's not.
That is a huge.
Barry,
effort.
go to sleep if you're still listening.
Yes,
Barry,
yes.
Come on now.
Yeah, we're getting Barry home. We're getting it sorted. We're on this.
Yeah, you better believe it. 8223 the number if you do want to enter the meat tray this morning with some good news. We're chatting with Hamish Hartlett after 8 o'clock from the Port Adelaide Football Club as well. Not good news for our other mate, Orazio Fantasia, who has got a little niggle again. He finds himself out of the side. Hopefully he can get fit and have a good run into the finals. But I'm really fascinated to talk to him about this whole AFL Grand Final question and the whole AFL Final Series question too, regarding what matters most to a player in 2021. Is it location or is it fans? And if it's fans, is it full house fans or is it partial fans? Because I've got this funny feeling the Players Association made this point with Patrick Dangerfield. I think players now, having been through this process for nearly 2 full seasons, want there to be a full house. They want to be playing in front of fans.
Yeah. Well, Tom Duday made that point about how weird it felt playing, in an empty stadium. It feels like one of those under-18 games at Thebarton Oval.
Now, it's 29 after 7, and I think some good news might have arrived for you, David, in the shape of a bacon and egg roll from our good friend at Jarmas.
Oh, Chris, mate.
Chris.
Just when I thought I couldn't love you anymore. After that wonderful feed we had there for Pedro's 60th last Thursday.
There actually is a patron saint of lost causes, isn't there?
Yeah.
So it's already taken.
Yeah.
The patron saint of bacon and eggs and hangovers, Chris Jarma, who heard your call. He heard your call.
Oh, this is good.
And he's delivered to the studio,
This
it looks
is
like. I can
good.
just see them arriving. Yeah, here's
Chris, mate.
Here it is. Yeah, Paddy
Get in the
Carpenter with a
jammers.
reveal.
Pat.
Coming
And it's got chips with it.
Oh,
How
mate.
good is
It's
that?
never too early for chips.
I'm going to hold that up
So
for the benefit of the
enjoy
live
that.
stream people.
Present it for the live stream, Paddy.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
that.
thank you very much.
It is
Big
just-
thanks to Chris, too.
It's got, looks like
In
it's got
fact,
hot sauce on
take
it
that
as well.
into Tom Wren post-haste. Get it to Tom Wren post-haste because that man is in desperate need. Like a drowning man with a lifebuoy, that burger will be. Magnificent work. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you,
right.
Chris.
We're going to go into the newsroom and we'll be back and heading off to Canberra in a moment, catching up with Phil Curry.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Showers and 17 today with the 7:30 news. I'm Kendall Brettig.
Looking for the perfect winter exercise? Physio Extra offers clinical Pilates at 6 locations. PhysioExtra.com.
The first Australian citizens and Afghan visa holders have touched down in Perth. 90 people have been evacuated from Kabul, with more rescue missions to be carried out in the coming days. This man, who has 3 daughters, is pleading with Western countries to open their borders. There have been reports of increasing violence from Taliban soldiers. He says his family's terrified and don't know what the future holds.
They are searching houses and they are finding and they are punishing in somehow out of eyes of media, unfortunately to say. This is a very difficult situation, very tense situation.
A stolen Subaru Liberty has been set alight at Elizabeth South. Police spotted the car at Paraka just before 1 a.m. and gave chase before terminating the pursuit for safety reasons. Soon after, it was found alight in Ridley Road, with a group of men seen running away. Police, including police dog Bandits, searched the area but haven't been able to find them. The car was stolen from Paradise on Wednesday. The State Transition Committee will meet today. On the agenda's border restrictions with parts of regional Queensland. Density limits, caps on gatherings and rules around mask wearing will also be reviewed. Business SA Chief Martin Hazy says vaccination rates will likely be key to restrictions lifting further.
This virus is going to be with us for some time. I don't think anybody's under the illusion that this is going to be a quick fix. But if more South Australians are vaccinated, that means that more South Australians are protected from the impacts of the virus. It doesn't mean that South Australians won't get the virus.
A new report is suggesting COVID vaccinations have prevented a whopping 24 million cases in England. More from Nine's Karianne Greenbank in London.
Public Health England has just released new data showing the country's vaccination program has, in its words, directly averted around 95,000 deaths and prevented almost 24 million COVID-19 infections. The vaccine surveillance report also found that almost all the adult population of England now have antibodies to COVID-19 from either vaccination or infection.
Toyota is slashing its vehicle production worldwide. Manufacturing will be cut by 40% next month due to global microchip shortage. The world's biggest car maker had planned to make almost 900,000 vehicles in September. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Who loves South Australia as much as you do? Flurio Milk Company. South Australian and proud of it.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. The Bulldogs have resisted the temptation of recalling powerful ruckman Stephen Martin and number 1 draft pick Jamara Ugle-Hagan as they look to lock in a top 4 finals berth against Port Adelaide tonight. Coach Luke Beveridge says it's great to finish the home and away season with such a tough contest.
This could be great for us, that it's a finals-like game before the finals. There's a lot at stake, and we know how well Port Adelaide have been playing and how formidable they've been in recent times. And if we put our best foot forward, it potentially does us a world of good.
A win would see the Power secure a top 2 spot, while the Dogs need to win to stay in the top 4. Let's go to golf. Adam Scott has made a strong start at the Northern Trust Open in New Jersey, firing an impressive 4 under 67, but he's still 4 shots behind joint leaders John Rahm and Justin Thomas, who just finished an incredible round of 8 under.
And this to get it to 8 under, keep pace with John Rahm. God, these two guys. Yeah.
Audio there thanks to Fox. Ash Barty has cruised into the quarterfinals at the Cincinnati Masters, thumping Victoria Azarenka in straight sets. She lost only 2 games for the entire match. And Lionel Messi's debut for PSG has reportedly been put on hold for another week. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Opening soon, the award-winning team at Dave Potter and now Glenelg BMW, Adelaide's newest home for BMW.
At Edinburgh, look out for a smash and cruise clearing up on Edinburgh Road near West Avenue. That's causing delays there. Norwood expect delays too this morning. McGill Road at Portrush Road for the intersection upgrade, and also getting busy Carrota Park South Road near Anzac Highway. That's as you're heading towards Mile End. Cameras Grave Street, Newton, Kensington Road, Kensington Park, and Montague Road at Newton. Amart Furniture's warehouse sale is on now. Save up to 50% off a huge range of furniture. Hurry, it's for a limited time. Shop with Amart today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Head to Foodland, Drake's or IGA for Nutrimate, a new dog roll loaded with healthy nutrients.
Showers and 17 today, a shower or two tomorrow, 17, up to 20 with showers on Sunday, then a colder day on Monday, 13. At the moment, 14. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Say hello confidence in the new Tiguan, now available at Solitaire Volkswagen. Visit solitairevolkswagen.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
25 minutes to 8, John Blake on the way before 8 o'clock. Then after 8 this morning, Hamish Hartlett will join us. Ryan Fitzgerald on the program. I think if we're going to replay Barry Anywhere, I think we're going to play him to Fitzy, don't we? Just to give you a bit of insight into the karaoke night that was last night. Are you feeling better post-burger?
I am. I actually feel really good now.
Excellent.
Saved my life.
Good. We're at the halfway point.
Bacon, is there anything it can't do?
We're at the halfway point. Phil Curry from the Fin Review is going to join us from Canberra in just a moment, where things have taken a really ordinary turn over the course of the last 2 weeks. They've been engulfed in what's happened in New South Wales. So we'll talk to him about that, but also the federal political response. And I only use the term response because I can't think of a more appropriate one. They've said things, but nobody seems to have listened. Phil Curry from the Fin Review's on the line now. Phil, good morning to you.
Morning, guys.
How's lockdown going there, Phil? You crawling up the walls yet, mate?
Sorry?
You crawling up the walls?
It's just, it's as dreadful as it can be, isn't it? I mean, I still go into the office every day, which I'm lucky, but kids have just done their first week at home, so it's only been a week, so ask me in 3 weeks. Probably get a different answer, but
How old are your kids now? How old's Bert?
Oh, he's 13, and my daughter's 11, so they're all right. They're sort of fairly, they're fairly organised. Don't have to be supervised too much. So
have they inherited their father's sort of laconic take on life?
Sort of. He's a bit more cynical than I hope they'd be at that age, but
I wonder where they get that from.
Yeah, no idea. Looking at their old man watching footy every Saturday.
Oh yeah, you haven't inflicted supporting the Carlton Football Club on them too, have you?
I tried, but children are attracted to success. So,
who do you want your next coach to be?
Oh, look, I actually really feel sorry for David Teague. I think the way they're treating him is disgraceful. The way they're hanging this guy out and leaving him in limbo and having to beg for his job. I'm actually off the whole club at the moment, to be honest. I'd like to see the whole board cleaned out. I don't think replacing the coach is going to do much at all, because that culture of that club is just poisonous, and it's on display now. Alistair Clarkson will go there, and it's a black hole. They'll eat him up as much as anyone else. So I think it's beyond the coach. I think the culture of that place is ruined. And they're showing us right now, just these billionaires, these faceless billionaires who just treat people like dirt.
Yeah, that's exactly
I'm pretty
what
dirty
it is.
on them, to be honest.
Yeah. I think that probably echoes the sentiment to most Carlton fans. It's hard to imagine that the people that have made the last 3 or 4 coaching mistakes are going to suddenly get it right next time. Or perhaps they weren't mistakes after all, as you say, and there's just something deeper that's an issue. Hey, we've been talking about throughout the morning. So the federal government, Scott Morrison mapped out a plan out of COVID.
Yes.
And nobody's listening. It seems every government's got their own plan. New South Wales, as we read this morning, have taken their own approach that's going to be living with Delta. WA are going to pursue a zero COVID policy. Victoria's got their own version. It's like we're working on our own version here in South Australia. They seem totally sidelined, the federal government.
Yeah, to a point, yeah. I mean, it's hard to blame the federal government if the states are just going to keep going their own way. I mean, I don't know how many times you can beg the states to actually have a consistent approach just for the sake of everybody, including businesses and people who live in families who spread across different states. But they just each insist on they're doing the right thing by their own people, and they just. But look, I don't think the plan is derailed as much as it appears, because. I could tell you, people are getting cranky at being locked down, especially in Victoria. I mean, they've just been through hell there, and New South Wales is now not far behind. And any government who doesn't open up as they agreed to when they agreed to open up, is going to, I think, I think we might start to see it turn against the premiers. People have sort of, just don't really pay any regard to the federal government anymore. The federal government hands out all the money. But if I'm seeing it in WA. If you look, I was looking at the newspaper in WA this week, and on the weekend, McGowan said, "I don't care if we get 80%. I'm still going to shut the borders if it's zero, to keep zero." And the headline was, "Well, what's your plan? How do we get out of this?" It's sort of like West Australia is like a minor version of the gilded cage that Australia's been for the last year. We've locked ourselves in this gilded cage with this zero mentality, and there's a sort of thing during the week in Perth where, from all these sort of community leaders and stuff, and 1/3 of the people in that state weren't born in West Australia, either overseas or other states. And they're starting to ask McGowan, when can I go see my parents, or when can I go home, or when can we travel again? So I think that sort of pressure will build elsewhere. The only reason New South Wales has been forced to sort of fast-track the plan is because they're just a basket case. They've lost control. So Berejiklian is saying, let's just, I can't get it to zero. That's just impossible. So the next best option is to get to 70%, get to that Doherty target, and we'll be the guinea pigs, if you like. So it's not happening in a sort of perfectly coordinated fashion, but those thresholds still hold. And I note, the Treasurer said yesterday, look, once you get to 70 and 80, if you keep locking down against the rules, you can foot the bill for the income support and stuff. Now, the Feds have tried that before. They tried it last time and they had to back down.
With Victoria,
Well, all the states, remember they said, you've got to be locked down longer than a week, and if you've got $10,000, you don't qualify, and all those sorts of things. And that didn't last a month. They had to revise it 4 times. But I just think patience is going to start wearing, or at least wearing really thin with lockdowns. And you look at England. I was looking at the cricket the other night. There's a full house at Lords. 45,000 at the Premier League. No one's wearing masks over there anymore.
Phil, we got a story in the paper today, page 3 of today's Tizer. I just read you the intro. Civic Park carols hit by COVID crowd cap. This is talking about carols by candlelight in Modbury. Normally they get 40,000 people. Now, this is an event being held in December. Now, there's a story today in the Tizer. The state's biggest Christmas carols concert will be restricted to just 10,000 spectators under a ballot system still being finalised by the local council. That's 4 months from now. And things like that, we coined the term yesterday, the stuff this for a joke graph. It feels like we're getting to that stuff this for a joke point, and you look at things like that and you go, why?
Well, I guess in that case, Dave, you should be in South Australia and nationally, we should be well at 70% by December. So that does it. That we should be in the next phase of opening up. But even when we open up under 70 and even 80, if you look at that Doherty report, there will still be masks. There will still be, social distancing. There's still going to have to be precautions. It won't be just this headlong rush to sort of everything's open again. And maybe it's just in line with that expectation. But the premiers will still have to, time to time. I mean, even at 80%, you'll still be able to have highly targeted lockdowns. You might have to lock a suburb or a country town or something. So I guess. There's still be an element of precaution even by December, but it is. Well, I think the trouble with things like that is it just dashes hope.
Yeah.
I mean, people need hope, and if you notice the Prime Minister in the last few days, every time he gets out, he gives this sort of cheesy sermon about a light at the end of the tunnel and all this sort of stuff, and that's because by the time he stands up in the afternoon, you've had nearly every premier stand up, and just saying the world's ending, and if you leave your house, we're going to put you in jail, and the whole country's losing hope again, especially over here. It's just desolate on the East Coast. It really is. And God forbid, you guys have to go to lockdown again. You keep doing what you're doing is sort of the plan, but at the same time, you have to adjust your mindset. We have to adjust our mindset. A couple of hundred cases a day is nothing to be alarmed about if no one's in hospital. And we've got to start focusing on the number of cases that are in hospital, not the number of cases. But we're not ready to do that yet because we don't have enough people vaccinated. And if we just sort of said, let's make whoopee, the hospitals will be chock-a-block in a week, and it'll be a crisis. So it's just really going to be a difficult couple of months. We just got to try. But once we get to that 70-80%, I think the premiers are going to come under a lot more scrutiny than they have so far. It's been easy for them thus far because they've been able to do all the things to keep us safe, and the Commonwealth picked up the bill. But they're now the ones people think are running their lives, and I think they'll be more accountable once we get to those targets, and they should be.
The timing of the South Australian election's fascinating in that context. It's March
that's
next
right,
year.
and that's where you're in a bit of a bind. You're in the you're in the West Australia space now because you've got a premier who's just super cautious. He's never going to err on the side of risk, even no matter how minor. It's probably what's underpinning that Carols by candlelight decision. And that's not frustrating, but it won't be just frustrating for you. It'll be for those of us who can never get back there. But that's just how you're going to be till March. Stephen Marshall and Nicholas Spurrier is probably up there with the Queensland Chief Health Officer in terms of risk aversion and control over the Premier. I think those two Chief Health Officers have more control over their premiers than any other. And so I think South Australia will be fairly closeted till then. But you must get vaccinated in the meantime. Don't get complacent. Because I can tell you, when it gets in there's a mad rush for the life rush, and you don't want to be part of that.
Yeah, exactly. Good analogy. Well, good luck to you guys over there, Phil.
It'll be fine. Okay, see you, fellas.
Good on you, mate.
See you, mate.
Phil Curry from the Australian Financial Review. It's a good point. Book in now. It was interesting last night at our karaoke night, because we did a series of interviews with people who are running businesses in hospitality industry and a whole range of people that have been affected by COVID negatively. And one of the comments that stood out to me is someone running a significantly large catering business making the point that they've got a number of younger staff who are saying, well, sorry, what's the incentive for me to get vaccinated? I got no problem with vaccination, but can I go overseas? Because that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
No? Okay. So does that mean I don't have to wear a mask anymore? No. So you've got this cohort that should be among the 80% that are easy gets. They're easy vaccines. They're for it, but they're saying, well,
there's no reward.
Why rush? What do I get for my trouble?
Yeah, exactly.
14 minutes to 8. Let's check traffic. Thanks to the opening soon award-winning team at Dave Potter, who are becoming Glenelg BMW, Adelaide's newest home for BMW.
At Edinburgh, look out for a smash and crews clearing up on Edinburgh Road near West Avenue. That's causing delays in that industrial area there. Norwood expect delays there too this morning. McGill Road, Portrush Road for the intersection upgrade. Getting busy at Karata Park, South Road near Anzac Highway as you're heading towards Mile End. And look out for cameras this morning. Grey Street, Newton, Hartley Road, Flinders Park and Hectorville Road at Hectorville. What's for lunch? How about a burrito or bowl from Guzmani Gomez for just $9.90? Choose from delicious pulled pork, grilled chicken, slow-cooked beef and more. Just $9.90 at GYG. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Hurry into your local Lordman and Pank optometrist for 20% off all eyewear from the world's iconic luxury and fashion brands, which must end this Sunday at your local Lordman and Pank optometrist. Your eye health, our expertise. T's and C's apply. Full details in store.
Hi, Crystal here from Southside Suzuki. If you're looking for a feature-packed, sleek and economical car under $20,000, then why not consider the brand new Suzuki Baleno? Starting from just $18,990 drive away, the Baleno is loaded with safety and tech, including sat-nav, reverse camera and Apple CarPlay. Plus, it comes with a 5-year warranty and cap price servicing. Book your test drive today at southsidesuzuki.com.au. LVD 2009.
Do you think a concert pianist needs a builder's license? No. Does a chartered accountant need one? Nah. Okay, then what about a house inspector? This will surprise you. Right now, there are no regulations in the industry that say you must be a builder to become a house inspector. Mike Pearl from House Inspect Australia is a third-generation licensed builder, and his team is the most qualified team in Australia for house inspections. It's the biggest purchase decision of your life. Don't risk it. Go to houseinspectaustralia.com.au.
Now, we are massive fans of the Adelaide Central Market. David honed his craft of everything at the Central Market. Every skill you've got in life, you learn at the Central Market. Is that right?
I learned how to trim cauliflowers.
Exactly right.
Learned how to make those apple pyramids.
See, this is what we're talking about.
Can you do that? It's good.
I absolutely cannot, because I didn't have the grounding of a Central Market job in my formative years.
You need crepe paper and a bucket of water and a foam pyramid.
Bucket of water?
Yeah, because you make a little... like a floral rosette with your hand, with the paper. Then you dip the paper quickly into the water, and then you make... It's almost like making a crockenbush.
Do you need to swallow your burger? you do that, and I'll talk about the Adelaide Central Market, who are local.
My one true skill is I can make apple pyramids.
Yeah, I believe it. There's no doubt about it. Support local. Support the Adelaide Central Market, because right now it's more important than ever.
I might go in there about 1 o'clock and have fried kway tiao You had that?
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Fried kway teow, Asian gourmet, or Malacca corner.
Thank you very much.
The Adelaide Central Market is a collective of 70 traders, suppliers, growers and producers, and they're all working together to bring you the best and freshest produce available.
From fruit and veg, seafood, meat, bread, milk, to world-class cheese, continental, even take-home meals. It's all at your fingertips. You can also stay and enjoy a meal or a coffee with market dining back to 75% capacity. And if you can't get to the market, simply order your favourite market goodies online for contactless home delivery every Tuesday, Thursday and Friday.
The other thing about Fridays at the market, Asian Gourmet, they do a special laksa called Sarawak Laksa. It's the only day of the week you can get the Sarawak Laksa. Get to the Adelaide Central Market, open Tuesday to Saturday. For more, visit adelaidecentralmarket.com.au.
Hi, I'm a nurse in a public hospital. I see ambulances ramped and my emergency department overcrowded. I see patients suffering as they wait for a bed. And what's Premier Stephen Marshall's solution? Well, nurses' jobs have been made redundant. And now the Liberals want to spend $660 million of our money on a basketball stadium, rather than fixing our broken health system. Stephen Marshall's priorities are wrong.
Authorised by R. Martin, Australian Labor Party, Adelaide.
Great business starts when you're in control. With the Optus Business Connect plan, get up to 8 SIMs and up to 300 gig of data, all on one simple plan. Great business starts with yes. Explore the Optus Business Connect plan in-store or online today. T's and C's apply.
Say hello confidence in the new Tiguan, now available at Solitaire Volkswagen. Visit solitairevolkswagen.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
9 minutes to 8. Ben Jordan tells us reliably that the patron saint of lost causes is St. Jude.
St. Jude.
St. Jude, be with us. It's 9 minutes to 8. And time to check on the weather situation. The weather for the rest of today, it's not going to get a whole lot warmer than it is right now, a top of just 17. Right now, outside in Adelaide, it's 14.3. It's pretty warm overnight, actually, but it's not going to get much warmer. There will be some rain on the way, most likely during the afternoon, up to 5 mils, but nothing too significant. Similar tomorrow, 17 the top, but less rain. Sunday it returns, top of 20, so we'll get part of a nice day on Sunday. Then Monday next week, top of just 13. It's really cool. 13 on Monday, 6 mils of rain, and it stays cool overnight for the next couple of days. Minimum of 7 on Tuesday with a max of 14, and Wednesday, minimum of 6 with a maximum of 15, so it's going to be a cool start to the week.
Icy.
And that's right. Hey, we're after good news this morning for the meat trade. It's been a tough week in the old news cycle, so we thought, why not start Friday with some good news? And we have had plenty of listeners call in for the meat trade this morning to provide it already, thanks to Sam and Karen at Windsor Meats in Malvern, 61 Duthie Street, Malvern. Michael in Normanville, what's your good news?
Good morning, boys. My good news is I've actually home from hospital, Flinders Hospital, after 16 weeks, and I've been home a few weeks, and I've driven a car for the first time last night, or yesterday evening, and I'm getting stronger every day.
Hey, that's excellent, mate.
Oh, that's fantastic, Michael.
And you're in Normanville, mate. A nice spot to recuperate.
Beautiful. Lovely, mate. Lovely.
Do you live there? Have you lived in Normanville for long?
Oh, yes, a while, yes. 23 years.
Such a pretty part of SA. I love Normanville.
Yep, yes, lovely, yes.
Well, you stay well, Michael.
Good on
Keep
you, mate.
recovering, mate. We're glad to hear it.
Thank you.
Good on you, mate. That is some good news. Happy to hear that. Jane in Salisbury Heights, what's your good news?
Oh, hi, guys. This morning I got a phone call about 20 past 5, and I ignored it. I was asleep.
Wasn't Barry, was it?
No. And then it rang again another 2 times. I kept ignoring it. In the end, I heard a text message. So
nothing more annoying, is there?
No.
In the middle of the night?
No, that's right. I haven't been back to sleep since. Anyway,
know that feeling.
I looked at the text message. Have you got an Irish setter? I found him wandering along Main North Road, and that straight away woke me up. Yes, I do have an Irish setter. I've got 2. And how he got out, we don't really know yet.
Jeez.
Anyway, he says, what's your address? I gave it to him. He says, look, I'll bring him round. And he brought him back for us at 5:30 this morning. So,
wow.
Yeah, it could have been really
What was
bad
the person's name, Jane? Do you know?
Look, I don't know. And, I don't want me tracing myself. I've got his phone number.
No, that's
I'd
okay.
like to be able to give it to him.
That's terrific.
That's a wonderful story.
How nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it was a good start to the day.
It restores your faith in humanity.
What's the dog's name, Jane?
Potter.
Potter.
Yeah, for Beatrice and Potter. Beatrice Potter, because his sister was called Beatrice and he's called Potter.
Well, Potter.
Nice.
Stay at home, Potter.
Welcome back, Potter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, very true. Yeah.
The next dog can be Vinnie Barbarino.
Yeah, or Horseshack.
Oh, good on you, Jane. Chris in Hallett Cove, good morning.
Or Epstein.
Yes, good morning. I've got a good news story. My son-in-law went for a job interview yesterday and he got it. It's a full-time job. And for the last few months, he's only been able to get work on a Monday. He's got up and got ready for work every single day. But from Tuesday to Friday, they ring to say, sorry, no work today. And I've got 3 kids and they've really been battling. So that was such a good news story that he secured a few full-time jobs.
Oh,
so.
congratulations.
Tough
That's
at the
great
moment.
news.
In a lot of industries, it's tough at the moment. So that's excellent news, Chris.
Yes, yes.
Beautiful.
Thank
How's
you,
life
Chris.
down the Cove? I love Hallett Cove.
Yes, lovely.
Our producer,
lovely.
Andy, he's from Hallett Cove.
Yes, I did know that, actually.
Yeah, no.
I've rang up before to vote for where we live.
Oh, yeah, the greatest
yes.
suburb.
Yes, the
You got
best
that
suburb.
beautiful beach walk down there.
It's a great spot. Hallett Cove's magnificent. And
You can see fossils down there. They got what are they called? Trilobites and things in the rocks.
yeah, because it's one of the oldest archaeological sites on planet Earth. Stuff you can find there.
Yeah.
We did have some good news, and Ben Jordan made this point on Twitter, on unemployment yesterday.
That was good.
SA was at 4.7%. The record low we've had was back in July 2005, 4.3%.
Isn't that technically what the economists call full employment?
Yeah, I think it is. I think under 5's full employment.
I never understood that because I would have thought, well, doesn't that mean 1 in 20 people is unemployed?
Oh, there's this thing called the non-inflationary rate of unemployment, the Nauru, I think, where...
I thought that was an island where they kept asylum seekers.
Oh, yeah, there's a multi-purpose acronym. The point at which people...
Did you study economics?
A little bit. I'm no expert. But there's basically the idea being that there's a certain point where...
That puts you in a steam company with all the other economists.
If everyone's employed, we have inflationary pressures. Anyway, it's boring. Who cares?
Yeah, right,
We're going for good news stories. Drew and Glenelg, good morning.
Some amazing news this morning. Checking my emails, a Nigerian prince is going to give me some money.
Hey, that's good news, Drew. How much are you getting?
10 million, I think.
Oh, that'll do.
You might be in the market for some cheap Viagra too, Drew. I got one of those emails the other day. I said, no, I'm going all right for now, thanks, but I'll keep your details and maybe get back to you in about 5 years.
Drew's just stunned. Okay, thank you, Drew. I'm not sure he was expecting that. That zag in the conversation. It's time for John Blake. Thanks to Aussie Fast Transport Solutions, interstate freight distribution, warehousing and local Adelaide couriers. Call Aussie Fast 13 13 64.
There have again been chaotic scenes at Kabul Airport as global evacuation efforts ramp up. General Mark Milley says they won't be leaving anyone behind.
Hey, have you seen Afghanistan? It's a travesty. People leaving and it ain't no place I'm going to. Hey, have you seen Afghanistan? The people are not free, and when things go bang, it's a warning, there's no one to turn to. Allied forces lost their grip upon that sinking ship, so they really had to quit, but they left them in the shit. 20 years of war, the Taliban is plundering. Hey, have you seen Afghanistan? It's a tragedy. When they wake up in the morning, what are they gonna do? Here come the Taliban, they are all bananas. Soldiers gone, now we take back our home. Here come the Taliban, they are all bananas. Soldiers gone, now we can plant our opium.
I love Hey Mr. Tambourine Man.
It's such a good song,
it's a
isn't
fantastic song.
In all its versions.
Yeah, absolutely. But
the Dylan, because
Dylan
Raider,
and the Birds.
Yeah, the birds. Blake,
Is the birds?
It is the birds.
He's not listening. He's out there talking to Andy. Hey, it's a minute to 8 o'clock.
That guitar sound, that jangly, it's just such a hallucinate. It's just like you're having some weird dream listening to that guitar noise, isn't it?
Absolutely. Minute to 8. 5AA News on the way. Breaking at 8. We'll be chatting with Hamish Hartlett after 8 o'clock, and Ryan Fitzgerald still to come.
Hello. Frank Walker from National Tiles. Our family company has been selling the best quality wall and floor tiles from Italy, Spain and around the world for over 42 years to professional builders, tilers and do-it-yourselfers. The secret of National Tiles' success is the very best quality tiles at the guaranteed lowest prices every day of the year. So for immediate delivery of the best quality tiles at the lowest prices, rush into National Tiles or buy online now and save.
South Australia's current fruit fly outbreaks are not only affecting some of our everyday foods, but threatening thousands of local jobs, businesses and livelihoods. There are important restrictions in place to limit the movement of some fruit and vegetables. We all need to understand how the restrictions apply to where we live, shop and travel. Because protecting our growers, South Australian jobs and businesses is in your hands. Find out what you need to do by visiting fruitfly.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Showers and 17 with the 8 o'clock news. I'm Kendall Brentig.
Trust Physio Extra. Norwood, Puri Street, Marion, Hallicove, Seaford and Victor Harbour. PhysioExtra.com.
The first rescue flight from Afghanistan has touched down at Perth Airport. Around 90 Australian and Afghan visa holders were on board. The US is ramping up its mission to rescue its citizens from Afghanistan. Major General Hank Taylor says troops are now working to get as many people out as they can.
We're ready to increase throughput and have scheduled aircraft departures accordingly. We intend to maximize each plane's capacity. We're prioritizing people above all else.
Police are investigating a carjacking at Paralawi this morning, which led to a serious crash at Edinburgh soon after. A man was asleep in his green Commodore on Jesse Road when he was allegedly dragged out of the car and assaulted by two masked men. Senior Constable Christina Phillipson says they sped off in his car.
Soon after, at about 4:50am, police were called to Edinburgh Road near Sturton Road at Edinburgh after reports of a serious crash. And so when police arrived, they found the driver of the Commodore and the driver of the Mitsubishi still at the scene with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. However, the passenger of the Commodore was not located.
A stolen Subaru Liberty has been torched at Elizabeth South after a police chase this morning. Police spotted the car at Paraka just before 1am. It was later found ablaze in Ridley Road at Elizabeth South, with a group of men of African appearance seen running away. A search of the area has failed to find them. South Australia's COVID restrictions will be assessed today when the State Transition Committee meets again. Restrictions on private gatherings, community sports crowd and mask wearing will be looked at. Authorities will also review border restrictions with parts of regional Queensland. And police have uncovered almost 150 kilos of cannabis in a van near the Queensland border. More from Nine's Mackenzie Colohan.
A Sydney man has been arrested at the border allegedly trying to smuggle 144 kilograms of marijuana into Queensland. The man aroused suspicions of police when he was pulled over at the Coolangatta border checkpoint last night. He was denied entry into the state before a search of the van uncovered 30 shopping bags full of drugs.
A Wiggles video has helped save the life of a Melbourne COVID patient. 22-year-old Sarah Kelly, who has Down syndrome, caught the virus in July and desperately needed oxygen to survive. The Wiggles encouraged her to wear oxygen tubes after she came out of an induced coma.
Well done, Sarah, and sit up tall and fill your lungs with air. Oh, I feel so much better. I love wearing my nasal cannula. Oh, that's great, Anthony. But you know what? It's also really important to let the nurses put on the red glowing thing, the oxygen saturation probe. Let's try it, Anthony. Oh, this is fun. Yes! Look at that. And then the nurses can find out how healthy you are.
It's feared 4 species of threatened Australian frogs are already extinct. A new list has been released of the 26 most threatened frogs in our country. Scientists say there needs to be a concerted government effort to boost habitats and breeding populations in zoos. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
3 words make a big difference to our local dairy farmers. Flurio Milk Company. In your supermarket now.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. It is game day for Port Adelaide as they prepare for tonight's big clash against the Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium. A win would secure the Power a top 2 spot. Port has made 2 changes. Trent McKenzie and Stephen Motlop both back into the side. Still on footy, and Victoria is expected to miss out on the opening games of the final series with a chance of losing the grand final as well. SA has put its hand up to host the season decider, while Western Australia is making a play for the game also. Premier Stephen Marshall has told Rowie Adelaide Oval is under consideration, but it's still early days.
The players love the Adelaide Oval. I think the viewers love the Adelaide Oval. It's an incredible place to play a game of footy. We haven't had an AFL grand final there in the past, and this is probably our best chance ever, probably the only chance we ever get to play an AFL grand final, and that's why we're in discussions with them.
Let's go to golf. Australian Adam Scott's in a tie for 4th after the opening round of the Northern Trust Open in New Jersey, following an impressive 4 under 67. And he says it was good to start the tournament so well.
I didn't feel like I was in too much trouble, so fairly clean card, and would have liked to make a couple more putts, but on a day like today, when it's stress-free, you're pretty happy.
Yeah, good stuff. Audio there thanks to Fox. He's still 4 shots, though, behind joint leaders Justin Thomas and John Rahm. And in some tennis to finish, Ash Barty's into the quarterfinals of the Cincinnati Masters. That's following a straight sets win over Victoria Azarenka. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now to the traffic.
Opening soon, the award-winning team at Dave Potter and now Glenelg BMW, Adelaide's newest home for BMW.
At Edinburgh, look out for delays after a crash there. Edinburgh Road near West Avenue, crews on site clearing that up this morning. At Woodville Park, expect delays on Port Road. That's between Kilkenny Road and Woodville Road for works. Getting busy Karata Park this morning. That's South Road near Anzac Highway, heading towards Myland. And cameras King William Street, Kent Town, and Port Road at Queenstown. The King Art of Living sale is on now. Save on the best in Australian design indoor and outdoor furniture. Visit the King Keswick showroom or shop online today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Head to Foodland, Drake's or IGA for Nutrimate, a new dog roll loaded with healthy nutrients.
Showers and 17 today, a shower or 2 tomorrow, 17. Showers for Sunday up to 20, then a colder day on Monday with showers 13. At the moment, 14. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Hurry into your local Lordman and Pank optometrist for 20% off all eyewear from the world's iconic luxury and fashion brands, which must end this Sunday at your local Lordman and Pank optometrist. Your eye health, our expertise. T's and C's apply. Full details in store.
We keep up to date with the renting legislation, so you don't have to. Hi, Susanna Toop here from Toop and Toop. As COVID-19 continues to impact everyone in our community, what is needed now more than ever is clarity. At Toop and Toop, we've opened up our weekly real estate radio show, so you can get expert advice at any time. Give us a call on 8362 8888 or go to toop.com.au/landlord advice. We're here to support you if you have any questions.
Hi, can I help you with anything?
Oh, thanks. Actually, that would be great.
Remember service? When you buy something and be really well looked after? Your Ford dealer does. Which is why when you buy a Ford, you also get a loan car when you book a scheduled service. And the service on most vehicles will only cost $299. Get more with Ford. Speak to a dealer today. T's and C's apply. See Ford.com.au for details.
Get Demazin 12-hour nasal decongestant spray that unblocks and clears nasal congestion fast. Demazin gets it done. Now available at Terry White Kmart for $7.69. Sale ends September 7, 2021 while stocks last. Follow the directions for use.
Say hello confidence in the new Tiguan, now available at Solitaire Volkswagen. Visit solitairevolkswagen.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
8 after 8. Hamish Hartlett very shortly. Ryan Fitzgerald after 8 o'clock. We'll go behind closed doors as well. And remember, it's Good News Friday on 5AA Breakfast. We're sick of the tough, negative, sad and depressing news cycle this week. So the meat
We're
tray...
sitting it out.
Exactly
We're sitting
right.
it out. It's News Free Friday here at 5AA. We've had a gutful.
The meat tray is dedicated to good news stories. Thanks to Sam Karen, Windsor Meats in Malvern, 61 Doothie Street in Malvern. We can't say enough about them. Been on board meat trays since the very, very beginning. And we're getting some terrific good news stories. So keep them coming through on 8223 0000 or text us on the Telstra Stormount Barker text line.
And in keeping with the exact spirit of what Will just said, today's Breaking at 8, we can reveal something pretty big is coming up over the next 2 weeks, namely that Peter and Helen are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. Not only that, we also understand that they will both be celebrating their 71st birthdays at the same time. This is happening within the next fortnight. They're both still working full-time as well. And very kindly, they say, great show. That's Breaking at 8. Peter and Helen, congratulations. That's the best Breaking at 8 we've ever done.
I'm happy with that. Put that on the front page. That's breaking good news.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yep. Seriously. Like, I was just going through my phone before thinking, oh, yeah, I've heard this, I've heard that. There's something about the transition committee and this is on the table and what's going on with the shape of local football and how many sides are there going to be, and we've got to the latest we've heard about the vaccine rollout. You know what? Stuff that for a joke. Peter and Helen, happy anniversary.
And speaking of good news, this is a good news initiative that we've had running all week. We've done it before, and we do it with the support of Avanti Care. It's their Healthcare Heroes. Nominations are open now. All you need to do is go to 5AA.com.au and reward someone who works in healthcare with $1,000 thanks to Avanti Care's Healthcare Heroes. 5AA.com.au. It's the people that are eligible. It's pretty broad. It's pretty broad. Yeah. We want people that work in aged care, disability care, allied health, medical professions. If you're umming and ahhing and you think, I don't know if this person qualifies, I'm telling you they qualify. Make sure you go to the website. Let us know about the wonderful and the tireless work that people that do in these sectors. Look, basically, broadly speaking, if they're working to improve the health and well-being of others, that's the only thing that matters. That's what we want to hear about, because that makes them heroes. Absolutely. And they deserve the recognition and the rewards. And look, $1,000 in the kitty too wouldn't hurt. You can win that thanks to the great people at Avanti Care. We love Healthcare Heroes because it gets to a point in this process where we get to start reading out some of the stories of these wonderful people who go unheralded.
Yeah, exactly. They are genuinely unsung heroes.
Exactly right. This is why they should always be Australian of the Year, not the Test captain.
Yeah,
but anyway,
exactly.
That's my rant that I do once a year at a different time. 11 after 8.
Save that one for January.
All right. Getting ahead of myself.
First show back.
Exactly right. I started to stray from good news into angry news again.
Peter Doherty was Australian of the Year, the immunologist who we had.
He
on.
was great the other
But
day.
I remember when he became Australian of the Year, it was a huge talking point, because I think the previous year it was Mark Taylor. And no knock on Mark Taylor.
Legend.
But
we all know what he's done well.
Yeah, played cricket.
And it's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to do it because it's the tone strays into being a little bit angry.
Narky. Yeah,
and we want to be happy this morning.
We're not doing narky.
We're going to do happy voice. Happy voice. Exactly. All right, let's
happy voice.
Let's check.
Did your mum used to say that to you?
No.
Come on, Will. Turn that frown upside
down. My inner voice is saying it to me. Opening soon, the award-winning team at Dave Potter. This is happy news. They're becoming Glenelg BMW, Adelaide's newest home for BMW. Oh, that's the wrong one.
At McGill this morning, look out for traffic lights. They're on the blink today. That's McGill Road and St Bernard's Road. Edinburgh, look out for a smash and cruise clearing up after an earlier incident at Edinburgh Road near West Avenue. That is causing delays today. And at Northfield, Grand Junction Road near Hampstead Road for works. Pretty slow going today. It's affecting both directions and speeds down to 25 k's. Cameras, Glenburn Road, Glynde and Hardley Road at Flinders Park. Shop local at Adelaide Central Market with over 70 traders under one roof and the best fresh produce and specialty goods. Open Tuesday to Saturday or order online. Our market, Adelaide Central Market. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie Sport Show.
Oh, Caro, I don't want to start with a fight. Richmond's Dion Prestia reports over here that he had a, inverted commas, alleged COVID breach. That's died a bit of a slow death in the media.
It's being investigated.
Taylor Walker wasn't afforded that.
4 p.m. weekdays.
Hung, drawn, quartered, bang, close the book, you're a racist.
Stephen, I think that you've become irrational, if you don't mind me saying.
Rowie Sport Show on 5AA.
If the thought of this as a job drives you crazy, you might want a job like this. Here's Chris from ASIC Careers to tell you how.
Thanks, Rowie. ASIC Careers is growing, and we need more drivers to keep our promise of perfect service. So if you want a career that takes you places, get in touch with ASIC Couriers. Don't send it, ace it.
Building amazing homes is important to Beechwood Homes, and so is the environment. So when you build with Beechwood, you're building a better environment for our kids and grandkids.
Around 70% of scrap materials from every Beechwood home is recycled. Bricks, rubble, timber, gyprock and steel, none of it goes to landfill. It's all sorted and recycled. So life really is good. It's even better in a Beechwood home. Take a look at the stunning Beechwood display home in Blackwood Park.
If the thought of this as a job drives you crazy, you might want a job like this. Here's Chris from ASIC Careers to tell you how.
Thanks, Rowie. ASIC Careers is growing, and we need more drivers to keep our promise of perfect service. So if you want a career that takes you places, get in touch with ASIC Careers. Don't send it, ace it.
Hi, I'm a nurse in a public hospital. I see ambulances ramped and my emergency department overcrowded. I see patients suffering as they wait for a bed. And what's Premier Stephen Marshall's solution? Well, nurses' jobs have been made redundant. And now the Liberals want to spend $660 million of our money on a basketball stadium, rather than fixing our broken health system. Stephen Marshall's priorities are wrong.
Authorised by R. Martin, Australian Labor Party, Adelaide.
At Acres of Lawn, they have everything you need to create a quality outdoor space. So much so, they're opening a new shop and display centre at Aldershot Road, Lonsdale. Get friendly advice, DIY products and landscaping options at your fingertips. Save up to 20% during August on the new range of Acres Lawn and Garden products. Aldershot Road, Lonsdale.
They've got it all. Just give them a call at Acres of Lawn.
You can trust 9 News is live and local. Weeknights at 5, nightly at 6. 9 News.
Say hello confidence in the new Tiguan, now available at Solitaire Volkswagen. Visit solitairevolkswagen.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
16 minutes after 8. Let's talk footy.
Come time. You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
And speaking of looking for good news stories this morning,
You can't touch this.
I think every time footy comes up at the moment for Port fans, it feels like it's a good news story.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you want to debate, whatever you want to talk about, things have fallen into place very nicely for the Port Adelaide Football Club as we come to the business end of the year. Hamish Hartlett, it's been terrific all year and for a number of years now joining us on 5AA Breakfast. It's been great to chat with him. Thanks to PureTap from $49 up front on a payment plan. T's and C's at puretap.com.au. Hamish, good morning to you, mate.
Good morning, fellas. Thanks for having us again.
It's really a tale of two clubs in this town, and always is, but we're sitting here thinking, oh, well, there were some modest signs of improvement, but thank God all of that's over. But for you guys, mate, you're just warming up.
It does seem a little bit that way. Yeah, we have timed our run pretty well. Certainly early on in the year we faced some issues in terms of some injury and that sort of thing, and our form hasn't probably always been where we would have liked it to have been or where people expected it to be. But we managed to to keep grinding out wins. Albeit not playing at our very best, and put ourselves in a good position. And now things are starting to shape up pretty well for us. So, I was just thinking about it the other day. I think you'd rather have injuries sort of earlier on in the season, get them all over with, and then hopefully get a good run towards the back end.
Feel free to tell me this is a stupid theory, but can it actually work out to be beneficial to have a pretty horror run injury-wise early in the year? Because I'm thinking back to the 2017 Crows Grand Final run, where that year they had a charmed run. And all year the stat was use the least number of players on the list, fewest number of injuries. Suddenly you get to finals and you do get one or two and you're having to expose guys who haven't been there. You've got to see so many guys play in important games of footy this year. It feels like suddenly you're not picking from 25, 26 guys who are up to final standard footy. You're picking from more. So do you think it's possible that it actually works out to your benefit?
Oh, there's no doubt that the exposure to some guys that perhaps wouldn't have played in those games had not those injuries occurred, that they'd be far better for the experience, and we can rely on those guys if need be. Clearly, no club wants to have any injuries at all, but they are a part of the game, and we've been pretty lucky the last 2 or 3 years. This year, not so much, but so long as you got your very best cattle on the park towards the back end of the season, which we're starting to get now, that's the main thing. I think the key is to get a few games into them before finals, Bob's had set up, and Rose and Durs and Butsy and these guys that have come back from long-term injuries and starting to get those games under their belt. And I think we're starting to see the benefit of that with their performance as well.
I'm trying. I don't know if anybody crunched the stats on this, Hamish. I can't remember seeing a side kick 19 unanswered goals.
It came as a shock to me as well. Like, I think I was concerned early on in the game. We were 18, 20 points down, whatever it was, a few goals, and then all of a sudden it felt like sort of half an hour had gone by and we were 10 goals up. I was like, when did that happen? It all happened in an absolute flash. So, we haven't had many of those games where we've really, driven a team into the ground and really opened up a substantial lead on a team for a long time. So it was nice to get one of them on board for sure.
Hey, the big discussion and talking point and debate, I guess, in footy over the last couple of weeks has been about where you play finals and then the grand final. As a purely theoretical exercise, do you prefer to play it anywhere you can have crowds, or is it important to keep it at the MCG for the tradition?
I think there needs to be a crowd at an AFL grand final. Like, can you imagine how hollow it would be at the MCG in one of the biggest stadiums in the world? Hearing each other call for the ball through the sound mic on the TV, it just wouldn't. It wouldn't be the same. You got to have it with the crowd, whether that's in Perth, here, back at the Gabba, wherever it is. You need to get as many people as you possibly can there to create the atmosphere that game deserves.
The other thing too for Port though, like before we look at the grand final, is making sure that and some of this will depend on what happens with tonight's result in the blockbuster game against Footscray, but you want to hang on to the home ground advantage as well, obviously.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, absolutely. So tonight's result's going to be a big one for us, and obviously what unfolds in the Geelong and Melbourne game is going to be pretty important to us too. But we've set ourselves up really well to have a red-hot crack at the next month of footy. Our form's starting to build really well, and if we can get a finals game or two in front of 20, 30,000 at Adelaide Oval, whatever it might be at that point in time, we can't wait for that opportunity.
What's the feeling like within the team, Hamish? I mean, it's looking, and even last week, I thought some of the coverage was unduly negative. I mean, clearly things weren't going according to plan in that second quarter, but to turn around and just bury a side like that shows that there does seem to be a real self-belief there.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think we've been pretty realistic about where we've been throughout the whole season. We still understand that we're always looking for opportunity to try and improve, and even from a 96-point victory on the weekend, we're still looking for areas of our game that we can get better in, which might seem negative or whatever the case may be. But I think that's what good sides do, and I feel like that's where we're still at. Still looking to try and get better. We still are trying to build our momentum going into what's going to be a really important month of footy for our footy club.
I got to say, I'm not like Will. I'm no footy sort of walking encyclopedia, but what you just said reminded me. I don't know if you ever saw that amazing thing they did when Lee Matthews was coaching Brisbane, and during one of the grand finals, they mic'd him up, and every time the Lions got a goal, he didn't say anything. But whenever he missed one, it was like, no. Yeah. And the only thing he fixated on at all was things that didn't work.
Yeah.
Because he had an expectation that everything else just would work. And I suppose that's the secret to finding success, isn't it? Just going, well, all right, we're going to be good, and if we're not going to be good, we're going to fix it. So,
I think in this competition that we play in, there's no room for complacency whatsoever. You got to find little areas to keep getting better in, because the rest of the competition, he's always just snapping at your heels. They're never too far away. We've seen some of the results over the last few weeks where there's been absolute boilovers, and we understand that can happen on any given week. So, there's no point sort of resting on your laurels. You got to keep grinding away, keep working hard, and keep trying to get better. Otherwise, you get snapped up pretty quick.
Hey, Hamish, early in your career, you had a lot of injuries with soft tissue injuries.
Yep.
Have you had a chance to chat with Orazio? We feel like we've got skin in the game because he chats with us on the alternate week when you're off. But it's just awful to see him. He's out of the side again this week with a little niggle, and it just seems like he can't quite get the body right.
Yeah, Raz is unfortunately one of those guys that injury seems to follow a little bit over his career, and particularly over the last few years. But he started the year in sensational form for us, and no doubt he's part of our very best team when he's up and going. So unfortunate one for him. I think it'll only be a week by the sounds of things. To be honest, I didn't even know that it happened until the teams got called out yesterday, so I had no idea about it. But Raz is a really optimistic and positive guy, as I'm sure you guys have been made aware over the last year or so. He'll keep an upbeat attitude. He'll attack his rehab really well, like he always does, and he'll bounce back quicker than expected, I imagine.
Great chat with you, Hamish.
All right, good on you, fellas. Thanks again. We'll see you soon.
Okay, cheers, mate.
Hamish Hartlett, thanks to PureTap, you can get one from $49 up front on a payment plan. T's and C's at puretap.com.au.
No one likes to wait, especially if you're waiting for something really amazing, like a new Mazda. Lucky, you won't have to wait too long at Mawson Lakes Mazda. Right now, you'll find new stock and demos right across the range, which means there's no compromise. You'll get everything you want and love in your new Mazda. Get behind the wheel of your dream Mazda sooner. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
Dave Benson Caravan's biggest undercover 3-day expo is on this Friday to Sunday.
Hi, I'm Brett Barch, and I've negotiated with our manufacturing partners to create some very special expo deals.
See the latest in caravans and campers from the biggest brands in the business.
I've got build spots available right through to the end of the year. Order at this expo and get delivery by Christmas.
Be quick to take advantage of these expo deals. Dave Benson Caravan, 64 Grand Junction Road.
5AA's Business Lounge with Leith Forrest.
So in the Business Lounge today, I'm joined by an inspirational man who is a big fan of Arbor Vitae. Welcome, Peter Wilson.
G'day, Leith.
Hey, I know you've been using Arbor Vitae since 2018. Tell us about it.
It has completely changed my life. It's like liquid gold to me. My joint pain has completely disappeared. My mobility is so much better, and the reduction in inflammation is amazing.
After trialling and failing, Peter, with other treatments, you tried Arbor Vitae and even kept a pain diary. How did that work out for you?
I was using various things and trying different things until I decided that I had to find something that would work. I did nothing else other than a Google search, actually, and came across Arbor Vitae, and it definitely made a difference to my joint pain within a few weeks.
I'm so glad that Arbor Vitae has given you back your life. Arbor Vitae is available in chemists and health food stores all over Adelaide. For a full list of stockists or to buy online direct, go to arborvitae.com.au, or you can give the Arbor Vitae team a call on 1300 879 863. Remember, always follow the directions for use. This medicine may not be right for you. Read the label before purchase. If symptoms persist, talk to your health professional. For more information, visit arborvitae.com.au. That's arborvitae.com.au.
Shop now at Harvey Norman Clearance Centre, Marion. Under one big roof, we have lounges, dining, outdoor, rugs, flooring, cooking, washers, fridges, televisions and much more. Run-out models, scratch and dent, refurbished stock and brand new lines in stock and ready to go. Harvey Norman Clearance Centre at Marion for furniture, bedding, flooring, rugs and electrical. Look for the red sign. Shop now at Harvey Norman Clearance Centre, 919 Marion Road, Marion.
Malala Motorsport Park, the spiritual home of motorsport in SA, is turning 60. So come and join the party on August 28th and 29th. See some of the most iconic cars that have ever raced at Malala, with super sprint races featuring touring and classic racing cars, plus open track sessions and car cruises. And there's off-track entertainment with classic car and aviation displays. Don't miss the party and relive all the memories from the past 60 years at Malala. For tickets, visit malala.com.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head online to 5AA Facebook or search 5AA on YouTube. Say hello confidence in the new Tiguan, now available at Solitaire Volkswagen. Visit solitairevolkswagen.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
29 minutes after 8. You warmed up an animal noise for us yet this morning? We've got this Monado Safari adventure to give away. We'll be doing that after 8:30 now.
Oh, okay.
So plug 8223 into your phone. In the meantime...
Avanti, per favore. Guillermo.
Excellent work. It's time for Fuel Watch.
I thought we were doing Avanti again.
No.
We're not doing Avanti.
No, we're doing Fuel Watch.
Nice text from Ella and Modbury on the old Telstra Store Mount Barker text line thanking us for doing the feel-good stories. There's a lesson in this. It shouldn't just be a one-off. I actually think it's a general rule. Even on the hardest news day, we mix it up a bit. And our listeners God bless them. Geez, they were on fire last night.
You know how hard work it is some mornings us saying stupid stuff and giggling like idiots?
I know, exactly.
Sometimes it doesn't...
Well, I don't know. It does come kind of naturally.
Yeah, well, don't tell that to the bosses.
No, exactly.
All right, now, Fuel Watch.
Got those dopes fooled.
Opening soon, the award-winning team at Dave Potter, they're now Glenelg BMW, Adelaide Stewart's home for BMW. You shush. Now, Fuel Watch. Petrol prices continue to drop across the city today.
Well, that's good news.
That is more good news.
It's raining good news.
Oh,
hallelujah.
Good news coming out of your
raining
ears.
good news.
Prices sitting in the low $1.30s across the board. Head to Clemzig and Hampstead Gardens for the cheapest petrol out there today, only $1.27 per litre. Watch out the eastern suburbs, though. Petrol sitting in the high $1.40s in Nord and the McGill area. Now, we got a call from Dave in Clarence Gardens. Love when people give us a Fuel Watch tip-off.
Oh, yeah.
And Dave's done that. Petrol across from the Marion Hotel, $1.26.
I used to work at that service station.
Bargain. Really?
Yeah.
I bet the margin's in the fact they don't have to have someone wash your windows.
No, exactly. It was a driveway service back then. My second job. Fill her up, sir. That's what it'd say. Fill her up, sir.
Very polite.
Clean your windscreen.
You were noted for how polite you were.
Yeah, Bowser boy. That was my job title. It was. That's not the
No, don't doubt it. All right. You got an animal noise prepared?
I have. It's a pretty easy one.
It's coming up in a moment, as is Ryan Fitzgerald. 5AA News on the way.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Showers and 17 today with the 8:30 news. I'm Kendall Brettig.
Looking for the perfect winter exercise? Physio Extra offers clinical Pilates at 6 locations. PhysioExtra.com.
The first Afghanistan rescue flight has touched down in Perth with around 90 people on board. More from Nine's Eliza Edwards.
There's relief for Australians and Afghans on a flight from Dubai to Perth, which landed early this morning. The group of around 90 was then transferred by bus to hotel quarantine. Last night there were plans for another airlift out of Kabul. Australians and visa holders were again told to make the dangerous journey to the airport. And the hope is more of our people can board British and American flights out of Afghanistan in the days ahead.
A carjacking at Paralawi this morning's left a man in hospital with serious injuries. He was asleep in his green Commodore on Jessie Road around 4:30 when he was dragged out by two masked offenders and assaulted. He suffered serious injuries. The pair sped off in his car before colliding with a Mitsubishi Lancer at Edinburgh. Both drivers were found injured at the scene, but the passenger ran off. A stolen car's been torched at Elizabeth South. Senior Constable Christina Phillipson says the black Subaru Liberty was spotted at Paraka.
Police pursued the car for a short time before terminating the pursuit for safety reasons. And then just after 1 a.m, police were called to Ridley Road in Elizabeth South after a resident reported seeing a group of men pull up in a black Subaru and flee, with the car bursting into flames shortly after. So police, including police dog Bandit, searched the area but have not been able to locate the suspects yet.
The car was stolen from Paradise on Wednesday. SA's State Transition Committee is meeting this morning, but no major changes are expected. Easing border restrictions with parts of regional Queensland is being discussed. A British study has found COVID vaccines are less effective against the Delta strain. More from Nine's Curry-Ann Greenbank in London.
New research in the UK has revealed that people who become infected with the Delta variant of COVID-19, even if fully vaccinated, can still pass the virus on, undermining hopes of herd immunity. The study, conducted by the University of Oxford, found that even though vaccines are still highly effective at reducing hospitalisations and deaths, they're less effective at reducing transmission, particularly with the more contagious Delta variant. The study involved 700,000 people, all randomly selected, and is yet to be peer-reviewed.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Who loves South Australia as much as you do? Fleurieu Milk Company. South Australian and proud of it.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. Port Adelaide is preparing to take on the Bulldogs tonight at Marvel Stadium in a match that will shape the top four. The Power can't miss the double chance, but will lock in a top 2 spot if they can beat the Dogs. They've made 2 changes to the side with Trent McKenzie and Stephen Motlop in for Orazio Fantasia and Tom Cleary. The Power's close to full strength after being tested all year with injuries. Defender Hamish Hartlett telling David and Will, having to play so many players this season will actually help them come finals time.
Oh, there's no doubt that the exposure to some guys that perhaps wouldn't have played in those games, had not those injuries occurred, that they'd be far better for the experience, and we can rely on those guys if need be.
The Crows, meantime, will blood their 9th debutant for the season on Sunday when Lockie Gollant lines up against North Melbourne. Captain Rory Sloane telling Rowie he's looking forward to seeing what he can do.
We've had a lot of guys debut this year, and we've played a lot of our squad, which is exciting because we're seeing some absolute talent. And Lockie's been performing at an incredibly high level at our Sanford team, and he's deserved the crack. So I can't wait to see him out at Adelaide Oval.
Briefly elsewhere, Adam Scott's 4 shots off the pace after the opening round of the Northern Trust Open in New Jersey. Ash Barty's through to the quarterfinals of the Cincinnati Masters following a straight sets win against Victoria Azarenka. The Melbourne Storm have made it 19 straight wins in the NRL after taking care of the Gold Coast Titans 34-20. And Lionel Messi's debut for PSG has reportedly been put on hold for another week. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now to the traffic.
Opening soon, the award-winning team at Dave Potter and now Glenelg BMW, Adelaide's newest home for BMW.
Got traffic lights on the blink this morning. That's at McGill Road and St Bernard's Road. Look out for that this morning. Edinburgh, look out for a smash on Edinburgh Road and Sturton Road. It's causing delays, closures and restrictions are in place. Avoid that area if you can today. Northfield, Grange Junction Road near Hampstead Road for works. Pretty slow going this morning. Both directions, speeds down to 25 k's. And cameras at Hectorville Road, Hectorville, and Kensington Road at Kensington Park. LeBron James teams up with the Looney Tunes gang for Space Jam: A New Legacy. Fast track from cinemas to your home. Space Jam: A New Legacy, new to buy or rent on digital now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Head to Foodland, Drake's or IGA for Nutrimate, a new dog roll loaded with healthy nutrients.
Showers and 17 today, a shower or two tomorrow, 17. More showers for Sunday up to 20, then a colder day Monday with showers 13. At the moment, 14. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Say hello confidence in the new Tiguan, now available at Solitaire Volkswagen. Visit solitairevolkswagen.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
24 minutes to 9. I think best on ground for this Friday morning. Among a crowded field of really tremendous contributors, Chris Jarmer.
Yeah.
From Jarmer's Kitchen, because you're
Superb.
a different man post Jarmer's bacon and egg roll.
I'm not, without a word of a lie, that sandwich may have saved my life.
It certainly saved the show. You were green around the gills at about 7:35.
Yeah, that was all going downhill fast.
Things were looking really ugly. But
I was in more trouble than Barry in Goodger Street about 3 o'clock this morning.
What about Barry at 7 o'clock when he spoke to us? Let's talk to Ryan Fitzgerald first. He's on the line. Trust House Inspect Australia, the most qualified team in Australia for house inspections. Search House Inspects Australia. Fitzy, good morning to you.
Sweet goodness. And Pembo, don't worry, I've done it before. I've had a big night before a show the next morning, and it is the worst. You sweat more than Chappelle Corby at Denpasar Airport. You really, mate, it is. I remember when I first started on Nova, right? I started on Nova. This was 15 years ago, and they used to. Do you remember the Australian MTV Music Awards?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
that
Nova,
glittering night of nights.
Oh, it was amazing. That year, Nova had to present an award, and I just started out, and they said, "Can you get up there and present the award?" That was the year that it was. Kelly Slater was there. Anna Nicole Smith, remember? She's not with us anymore.
No,
remember
she's not,
her?
sadly.
Ja Rule was there, and I'm partying backstage saying, a boy from Port Noarlunga, this is unbelievable. And then I looked at the clock, it was 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, no.
And I was on air in 2 hours.
Oh, mate.
So I went straight through to the studio, and you know what? The best thing about it, you actually think you're on fire. You actually think you're doing really well. Then you realise when you listen back, you're an absolute joke.
You know, that's funny, Fitzy, because The only time I've done something similar was 2016 when Sturt won the flag.
Oh, yeah.
First time since 2002. I left the Arkabar Hotel and there were heaps of AA listeners there and they were saying to me, Pembo, mate, you're on here in 3 hours. I'm like, oh, yeah, go count the blues. I'm going to have one more. Then I'll go, all right, one more. I got home at 3:45. I slept in my clothes.
And woke up next to Paul Bagshaw.
Oh, if only. I caught an Uber in because I was worried I was still over the limit. And the first thing I said to Will, he just looked at me and he went, oh, mate.
That was
and
trouble.
I said, Will, please, you got to carry me. And I said, the moment I think I'm being funny, just turn off my microphone.
Oh, no, the first 30 minutes, Fitzy, was red hot. It was good stuff. But then I saw the dark cloud of the hangover hit, and things took a really nasty turn at about 6:45.
And this is the best thing, Pembo and Will, about mates and radio, because Webber and I have always had the same relationship as well. If someone's struggling, you just cover for the other person.
Yeah, for sure.
I do love that. You can cover for them.
Yeah.
But, going to have a heave during a song. I mean, you guys don't get songs. That's the thing.
No,
you have
no.
to be on air the whole time.
Could have done with a nice long one this morning.
Yeah, we thought about it. Hey, now, mind you, we had a nice long chat with a listener, Barry, last night, who you might have heard we mentioned just before you came on air. Barry was great. Octogenarian, front and centre, loved the karaoke, sitting there, he was clearly having a good time. Well, he called into the show at 5 to 7 this morning. Have a listen. We're wondering who got in the latest. Was it Tom Wren? David was right up there on the ladder. You guys were in the top 4. But top of the ladder was our octogenarian Barry. Barry, good morning to you, mate. Have you been home yet?
Good morning. Yeah, I'm still here, Will.
So you haven't been home yet?
No, hell no.
It's 5 to 7, Barry.
I'm in the motel just up the road from where we were last night. So I must have went to sleep at the table there, and that's where I am now, up at the motel.
Hey,
that is a sensational
do you reckon
effort, mate.
You in trouble when you get home, Barry?
Oh, shit, have you got a spare piece of land so I can pitch a tent? Yeah.
Do you know what time you left the karaoke bar?
No idea. Someone took me up to the motel. How long before I'd better drive the car home, do you think?
I don't know. Leave it there
Wednesday?
Barry, I don't want to put you on the spot, mate. You're 82, though, aren't you?
Yeah, coming 82 in February.
Mate, you are an inspiration.
Oh, hell, I reckon it's a terrific night. When's the next one?
That was Barry at 5 to 7 this morning, ready to back up. He wants the next one.
Do you know what? And I don't think it was the first rodeo for Barry.
Yeah.
He is a seasoned professional. You know what, Pembo? You're right. If I could be half the man Barry was at 82, I'd be very happy.
Well, how you practice and how you play on the day, I suppose. But great.
What was Barry's karaoke song? What was his highlight?
I don't think
you remember?
No, he was just sort of like a bit of a... He looked like he was part of the Vegas Brat Pack.
I think he was too busy drinking.
Well, he befriended a couple of women who were sisters, and they were doing these terrific duets all night. But he was mingling. We were talking. Everyone was getting around the room, and he was life of the party. He was also not only the last to leave; he was the first to arrive. It started at 7:30. He got there at 6:15. So he was champing at the bit.
Awesome.
Well, there's a real chance he hadn't been home from the night before.
He wanted a few looseners in the nets.
He went to heaven, I think, on Wednesday night, and backed it up at the Royal last night. Hey, what's your go-to karaoke song, Penbo? Did you get up?
Oh, yeah, did he get up?
Mate, I did a duet with the Lord Mayor of Adelaide, Sandy Verschure. We did Barbara Streisand and Neil Diamond's You Don't Bring Me Flowers. It was terrific.
Oh, awesome. I love that stuff. My go-to is I'm on Fire by Bruce Springsteen. You don't have to get up high, low voice, get right into it, get a couple of moves behind you as well. Well done.
Yeah, no,
do you know
good,
what? I just
cause.
love hearing people who are allowed to go out and have a good time when I'm into my 100th day lockdown.
Mate, I'm sorry. We've really been rubbing your nose in it.
Yeah, no,
I apologise.
No, I do love hearing those stories, boys. I love it.
Well, mate, you'll be back at the Ding Dang Dong in Surrey Hills, or
yes.
Well, no, that went out of business.
Down.
Yeah, that went out of
business. Yeah, and Golden Century just went out of business as well.
I know. That's
so,
just shocking
tough
news.
times in Sydney.
Barbecue King last year went out of business as well.
Yum Cha.
I know.
If you can get to a Yum Cha today, you'd be a happy man, Penbo.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Nothing a chicken's foot can't fix. Hey, mate, we should rip into the tips. Tonight, this is a blockbuster, the Bulldogs and Port.
Oh, this is a belter. Now, you would have to go on form. Port Adelaide would have to be the form team, but they haven't beaten a top 4 team, so this is the big one. I'm going to go the Bulldogs. I'm sorry. I just think that they're going to bounce back at some stage. They're a great side, so the Bulldogs will beat Port Adelaide tonight.
Then Richmond and the Hawks.
Hawks, I think I've loved what Clarko's done since they've said that he's leaving at the end of the year. He's just won every game. He'll win the final game as well against the Tigers.
Sydney Gold Coast.
I'm going to go Sydney to win that game. Sydney, they played well against North Melbourne last week. They've bounced back. They'll beat the Suns.
Lions West Coast.
The Lions are playing really good footy. They'll kill the Eagles.
This is going to be another absolute ding-dong clash. Geelong Melbourne.
Yeah, this will be a belter. It's down at Geelong Stadium too as well, Cardinia Park. So that's the only reason I'm going to go the Cats. You've got to watch out for this game. Will they rest some players going into that first final? But I'll pick the Cats there.
Carlton GWS.
GWS will beat the Blues quite easy. Well done to Eddie Betts. Love that man so much. What he's brought to the game of football has been unbelievable, and I don't think that's the last we'll hear of Eddie. I think he'll be involved somehow.
For sure. Saints Freo.
I'm going to go St Kilda to beat the Fremantle Dockers final game.
Bombers Pies.
Yeah, Bombers will win that easy.
And finally, the Crows in their last game for the year against the Roos.
I've got to pick the Crows last game, don't I?
For sure.
They've got to beat the Roos. I mean, we're in better form as well, so go the boys.
Absolutely.
Finish off the year well.
Good on you, Fitzy.
Thanks, Fitzy.
Good on you, boys. Rest up, Pembo.
Oh, we will. Good on you, mate.
Trust. House Inspect Australia, the most qualified team in Australia for house inspection. Search House Inspect Australia. Let's check traffic. Opening soon, this is exciting. The award-winning team at Dave Potter are becoming Glenelg BMW, Adelaide's newest home for BMW.
Look out for those traffic lights playing up this morning at McGill. That's McGill Road and St Bernard's Road. At Edinburgh, got a smash, Edinburgh Road and Sturton Road. It's causing a few delays today. There's closures and restrictions in place. Best to avoid that if you can today. Woodville Park, pretty busy going there this morning. That's Port Road between Kilkenny Road and Woodville Road. She's down to 40 k's because of those works. And busy on the drive in today, Port River Expressway and the North-South Motorway on-ramp to Perkins Drive. Hungry? How about a burrito or bowl from Guzmani Gomez for just $9.90? Choose from delicious pulled pork, grilled chickens, slow-cooked beef and more, just $9.90 at GYG. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
For news you can trust delivered straight to you, subscribe to The Advertiser. Enjoy full digital access plus weekend paper home delivery for just $5 a month for the first 3 months. Conditions apply. Search The Advertiser offer today.
Enjoy one of the world's largest open-range wildlife parks on our day tour Safari to Monado. Holiday Wonders is now offering the amazing wonders of safari to Monado Safari Park every week. Board your coach from numerous city and suburban locations and enjoy morning tea before meeting your new safari mates. Later, sit down to a picnic lunch. With Holiday Wonders, it's all included. Call Holiday Wonders to book your tour today.
Now, 3 words your friends and family never like hearing: we're moving house.
Oh, I tell you what, chills the blood. Tom Duday's moving house today. That's why he couldn't come to karaoke last night, packing boxes.
We were otherwise engaged, weren't we? We couldn't quite help him out. Couldn't get there, unfortunately.
We said, listen, dude.
So any other day.
We got a lot of planning
Any other
on.
day we would have been there.
We would have helped, but, got the show to do and have to be in bed early.
What rotten luck, we said.
I know. But look, if your friends and family are over helping you move, you can always rely on Budget Car and Truck Rentals to help you out.
Yeah, you can. You can do it all with Budget Car and Truck Rentals. You don't need schmucks like us. From 3-ton moving trucks you can just drive on a car licence to vans and moving trailers, Budget Car and Truck Rentals make it easy as to move house.
And look, the best part about using Budget Car and Truck Rentals is that you won't owe your friends and family a house moving in return.
So do it right in half the time and save money with Budget Car and Truck Rentals. Adelaide Airport, City, Marston, Salisbury and Ranella. Call 13 27 27. That's 13 27 27.
Start building now, and you could be living the life many envy at the 19th. Choose your architecturally designed 2, 3 or 4 bedroom luxury home package now from just $730K. The 19th at West offers an incredible lifestyle. Explore West's green pathways by foot or bike, sail or paddle on the iconic lake, swim at Grange Beach, or play around at the Grange Golf Club. It's all yours from just $730K. But you'd better be quick. Visit the19thwest.com.au today.
When you think surgery, you think hospital, right? Well, Dr. Greg Keane wants you to think SportsMed.
SportsMed is the only purpose-built orthopaedic hospital in the country, with world-class nursing and theatre staff, a first-class catering team, and the latest innovations in patient treatment and care.
And your surgeons?
We're experts in all procedures for hips, knees, feet, ankles, shoulders, elbows, wrists and hands.
All your treatments, all your care. One place. SportsMed.
Start living life again after your successful surgery.
Sportsmed.com.au.
You can trust 9 News is live and local. Weeknights at 5, nightly at 6. 9 News.
Say hello confidence in the new Tiguan, now available at Solitaire Volkswagen. Visit solitairevolkswagen.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
11 to 9, the meat tray this morning. We thought we'll give it over to some good news stories. And geez, we've heard some absolute rippers over the course of the morning. The meat tray, thanks to Sam and Karen at Windsor Meats in Malvern, 61 Doothie Street, Malvern. We'll take some more before behind closed doors and before we award it at 9 o'clock this morning. Jill in Christie's Beach, good morning.
Oh, good morning. I've got a good news story. My driver's licence was due for renewal, so I trotted along to Services SA, and when my number was called, I didn't have to go to the counter. I had to go and sit at a desk. And a very nice young lady attended me, and we went over and had the photo taken, and then we sat down again, and she was looking at the records on the screen, and she said, "Are you a pensioner, Jill?" I said, "Yes." "Oh," she said, "you should have had pensioner concession for the last 8 years of your driver's license." She said, "Your next license for 5 years will cost you nothing, and on top of that, you'll get a $45 check from us."
Oh, that's fantastic. That's a great story,
That's
Jill.
right.
Great news.
I usually hate going to Services SA. You wait so long, but it was a very good experience.
Hey, Jill, I'm glad you raised this because I was going to say this on air, and I'm glad you reminded me I can sneak it in before the last show of the week. I went to Services SA at Mitcham on Monday to renew my driver's licence for 10 years, and I had to get a new photo taken. Like you, I dragged myself down there thinking, I hate going to these places. It could not have been more well organised, and the staff could not have been nicer. And even with all the COVID distancing, we all had to wait. There was a capacity of 18 inside the building. So there was a queue in the car park. And we're all standing in the car park, metre and a half apart. I was like 8th from the door, and I thought it was going to take forever. It only took about 20 minutes.
Yeah, good on him.
And
That's good to
they
hear.
were so friendly, and there was a woman running around corralling everyone. So thanks for shining a light on an often maligned institution, Jill.
Absolutely. Great call. Let's go to South Plimpton. Debbie, what's your good news?
Good morning, gentlemen. Now, I'm pretty sure we all know that Foodland bought all the Country Women Association's jam because they couldn't sell it at the show.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. They gave it back to the Country Women's Association to sell.
You're joking?
Really?
No, and they've been donated a pop-up stall at the Central Market to sell some wares, and they've been donated a pop-up store, I think, in Topper Mall or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, how good is that?
That's
I don't want the
fantastic.
gift card. I think they deserve the gift card.
Yeah, that's an excellent call, Debbie.
That is a great call. Good
What a
piece
good
of
idea.
news. Yeah, that is nice.
Good
Nick
time, I think
in
good time,
Loberthal. You there, Nick?
Yeah, g'day, boys. Look, I've got a double nomination for the good news for the week. Number one, Crows' last game. Number two,
That is good news.
a win.
Yep. Absolutely. That would be some good news. Nice
4
way to end the
points.
season. Good on you, Nick. Thank you for that. It's 7 minutes to 9. We'll award the meat tray shortly, but first, it's time to go behind closed doors thanks to Aussie Fast Transport Solutions, interstate freight distribution, warehousing and local Adelaide couriers. Call Aussie Fast 13 13 64.
And when we get behind
$13.95. Adelaide's 5AA. This is Tony Pilkington.
Yeah, here we are again. What is it? Let's have a look at it. There it is. It's right on 2:45 on this afternoon of ours. The afternoons or there's of ours. She's open slather from now until 3 o'clock. Anything you want to talk about, then give me a call on that interactive number of ours, the 82230000 number of ours, and give it a whirl. And we were talking about the cashless society. A lot of people saying we'll be doing everything by credit card. Oh, I don't know, maybe a long time off yet. I'd hazard a guess, even though it's pretty much here already. I reckon I'll be be 6 foot under by the time that happens, even though it's pretty much here already. It's just that I haven't noticed it. Claire's given us a call on that number of hours about the cashless society, which won't happen for a long time yet, even though it's pretty much here already. Hello, Claire.
Oh, yes, hello, Tony. Yes, I don't like all this credit card stuff. It's the young people. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah, the generation of...
Yeah, they're using all those credit cards. I think it's terrible because they should be taught the value of money.
Yeah.
They just use the credit cards and they're not taught the value of money the way you and I were taught in our times. I think... we should blame the kids for everything, even though most adults are using credit cards and paying for things with their phone. These days, it's easier to blame the kids, I reckon.
Yeah, you make a good point, Claire. I reckon you and I will have carked it by the time the cash disappears, or should I say by the time you and I realise the cash has already almost disappeared. Alrighty. An email from Ellen who says, Pilko, you mentioned a while or so there's ago that today marks 41 years since the tragic disappearance of 9-year-old Azaria Chamberlain up there at Uluru, and maybe an idea to have Lindy Chamberlain on as a guest in Where Are They Now, and you could put to her the question how a dingo could possibly have taken Azaria when if she was 9 years old she would have been bigger than the dingo. Alrighty.
What about John Blake? My God. 5 minutes to 9. We might just take a little break to gather ourselves, and then we're going to give away a meat tray.
History. We all have it. At Steinborner Automotive, we're proud of our Holden heritage. That's why at Steinborner Automotive, we're here for you. So when it's time to trade in your Holden for a new or quality used car, we have a $1,000 trade-in bonus. That's right, $1,000 trade-in bonus when you purchase any new or demo Hyundai, Mitsubishi, Ford or quality used car. And we have over 350 used cars available. Write the next chapter of your driving history with Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth the trip.
What's for dinner? Try Cole's quick barbecue chicken wraps recipe. Made with 5 ingredients in 25 minutes for $4.50 per serve. Discover all the new delicious What's for Dinner recipes online at Coles & Co.
FIVEaa Liquor, how good are they?
I love you caught me on the hop. I was just thinking the exact same.
You were daydreaming about FIVEaa.
I was actually thinking, stocks are getting a bit low over the weekend. Probably not tonight. Definitely not tonight.
No,
but tomorrow.
It's an off night.
Saturday
night.
Much so.
FIVEaa Liquor night.
But look, the beautiful thing about FIVEaa, they've been forging connections with premium winemakers, brewers, and distillers from across the country, and this is the very important, increasingly right here in our own backyard. They've been doing it for 45 years.
Absolutely. One of those is Tomich Wines. The Tomich family has a rich history in winemaking, viticulture and farming, stretching back 3 generations.
And look, one telling and interesting fact about Tomich Wines is the B on their logo. What does it symbolise? Well, it stands for the family's philosophy of hard work, attention to detail, and environmentally sensitive farming for future generations.
And right now at FIVEaa, you can enjoy a Tomich Woodside Vineyard Pinot Noir at $24.90 and a Tomich Woodside Vineyard Pinot Grigio or Sauv Blanc at just $20.90 each. Remember, look for the B on the bottle, and if you see it, you're holding a Tomich wine.
So whatever you fancy, you'll find it at FIVEaa. FIVEaa, your local independent SA family liquor stores.
Sharon Brewer, CEO of Meals on Wheels SA.
If you can spare a couple of hours a week, are over 18 and have a driver's licence, I could use your help. Meals on Wheels needs volunteer drivers to deliver our delicious meals. You might be retired, a shift worker, a student, or just have some time on your hands. All of our volunteers agree. It's a simple and rewarding task, and I can assure you the people you visit love the conversation as much as the meals.
Go to mealsonwheelsa.org.au.
Say hello confidence in the new Tiguan, now available at Solitaire Volkswagen. Visit solitairevolkswagen.com.au. You're listening to 5AA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
2 minutes to 9, Avanti Care's Healthcare Heroes nominations are open right now. And really, this is a chance for you to reward someone who works in healthcare with $1,000, all thanks to Avanti Care. We call it Healthcare Heroes. We do it every year, and it is an unashamed opportunity to nominate people that care for people you might love and care for yourself. You might do the caring. Whoever it might well be, don't be bashful about it. We just like telling the stories. We like reading the stories. We like sharing the stories with listeners about the wonderful work that people are doing out there. Work that is often thankless and difficult. Well, you will be thanked because someone will get $1,000, all thanks to Avanti Care as part of Healthcare Heroes. It's as simple as this. Go to the win page at 5AA.com.au. And if someone who works in, and it doesn't have to be this specific, but if they work in aged care, disability care, allied health, medical professions, basically, if they work to improve the health and well-being of others, well, they're heroes in our book, so they deserve some recognition, maybe even $1,000 cash, thanks to Avanti Care.
Like this text from Jared on the Telstra Store Mount Barker text line. He says, I think you'll let you do the show hungover more often. There's a kind of charm about it this morning. I'm loving it. Good news for me. I just found a $20 note in my jeans pocket. I'm heading straight to the pub. Have a good weekend, fellas. Chorizo.
Hang on, before you do anything else, 8223 right now. Call in if you want to identify David making an animal noise, and we'll send you off to Monardo for this wonderful Holiday Wonders Day Tour Safari to Monardo. Call in right now, 8223 0055.
Super easy. Here we go.
I had to stop myself saying something that would have totally given away, but I think...
Was it da-da-da-dum?
It was, yeah.
Hey, we're going to meet Tray Friday winner as well. Late-breaking entrant. I love that call from Jill in Christie's Beach. About 3 cheers for the Services SA staff.
Absolutely. Big thanks to Sam Karen and the team at Windsor Meets Malvern, 61 Duthie Street, Malvern. Teresa in Morphett Vale. What was the animal noise David made?
I didn't hear it.
All right, he'll do it again for you.
With the musical clue, da-da-da-dum, da-dum.
Do it again.
I hop and I'm from Australia.
Kangaroo.
Yes,
Teresa. Never in doubt. Congratulations to you, Teresa. You're off on that Holiday Wonders tour. Their day safari to Monardo. You get picked up from multiple locations across Adelaide. Morning tea, lunch for 2. It's a cracking day. Holiday Wonders opposite Mitcham Shopping Centre. We're out of time. We're off to bed. Leon Biner's coming up, and we'll catch you Monday morning from 6.
See you then.